The following programs were originally aired live, long before the advent of high fidelity, and they were recorded using a variety of means, from direct recording onto early audio tape and glass records, to simply placing the microphone of a wire recorder in front of the speakers of a radio playing the program. I hope, however, that any variance in audio quality will not take away from your pleasure in listening to these, some of the all-time favorite shows.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on west, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The story of the violence that moved west with young America. The story of a man who moved with it. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
Everything was all right until about a mile north of the Cimarron. That's when my horse got a hoof caught in a frozen dog hole and broke his leg. So I had to shoot him. It made me feel awful bad. I didn't feel any better thinking about the walk ahead of me. Close to 40 miles to Dodge and carrying my saddle all the way. Guess I'd been on the trail about an hour, near as I could figure it was around 3 in the afternoon. And I had to ease the saddle off my shoulders for a rest and a smoke. And that's when I saw the stranger riding up from the way I'd come. He was tall and thin, and his horse was taller and even thinner. And they made quite a pair.
Hi.
How are you?
You lost?
No. My horse busted his leg away back. I'm on my way to Dodge.
Oh, it's your house, huh? I saw it.
Yeah.
On your way to Dodge, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
You got any more of that tobacco?
Yeah, sure. Here you are.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
That's okay.
Kind of a big walk you got ahead, ain't it?
Kinda.
It's going to be dark soon. You figure making camp?
That's the idea.
Well, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Do you need any food?
No, thanks. I got enough.
Well, I thank you for the tobacco.
Sure. Anytime.
Hey,
Yeah?
not saying this beast won't drop dead from the shock, but do you want to climb on behind? Save you a piece of boot leather for a while, anyway.
Well, I'd be much obliged if you think that animal of yours can carry us.
Well, she won't mind. Should have been dead a long time ago, except she don't know it. She don't mind.
Well, okay. Thanks. Here, will you hold my saddle till I get up, huh?
Yeah, give it here.
Yeah. All right.
Can you manage this saddle?
Yeah, give it to me. Yeah, I got it. Well, let's go.
There.
You heading for Dodge, too?
Not in particular. Just north.
Uh-huh.
This beast'll do about 10 knots with the wind behind her, but we ain't gonna get more than 5 with this load. You ain't in no hurry, are you?
Well, I was kind of hoping to get back tonight. It's Christmas Eve, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's right, ain't it?
Yeah.
That backbone of hers sticking into you?
Oh, no, it's okay. Thanks.
Notice that tin do-jigger tied to you. You with the law?
Yeah, I'm a U.S. Marshal. My name's Matt Dillon.
That's so. I never seen a marshal on foot.
Well, it happens sometimes.
How is it you're down this way? Ain't it a mite off your course?
Hmm?
So you marshal down here as well as Dodge?
No, I just took a prisoner across the Cimarron into Oklahoma territory. Turned him over to the Army there.
Did.
And then he shut up tight. We must have ridden a couple of miles without a word. I got to thinking about Dodge and Chester, Doc, and Kitty, and the rest of them. You know, there's something pretty special about any place at Christmas time. The backbone on the stranger's nag was just about to split me in two when he talked up.
My name is Cowley.
Oh?
Amos Cowley. We better heave to a spell. She's breathing mighty hard. All right, hold up. Yes.
Yeah, it's getting a little chilly, isn't it?
Yeah. Could I trouble you for another smoke?
Oh, sure. Here you are.
I thank you. Say, what's it like in Dodge?
What?
Dodge, what's it like?
Oh, it's like any other town, I guess.
Pretty big, huh?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Not so big as New York, though.
Oh, no, not as big as that.
You know, I haven't been in a big town now for more than 10 years.
Oh, is that so?
No. Been down in the territories, drifting. Thought I'd move up north this time. Maybe go back east.
So you're from the east, huh?
Some time back. Say, what's it like?
What?
Well, Dodge, any town. At Christmas. Same as it used to be?
Well, I guess so.
What do you do?
Well, the same as most people, I guess. What most people do at Christmas.
Well, that ain't saying a lot. What are the folks like? And what does it look like? I just kind of like to know.
Well, I don't know. Well, there's Front Street. That's most of Dodge right now. Of course, it's getting bigger all the time.
Do you have any kids?
No, I'm not married.
Yeah. Kids have fun Christmas.
Yeah, they do. That's certain. And Dodge, they sometimes have a party for the kids a couple of days before Christmas. Kids like that. And then everybody gets feeling good, looking forward to Christmas Eve. Like last year. There was snow on the ground, but the sky was clear. You could even see the stars. I was going down the street to the Texas Trail to meet Doc and Chester. Chester, he's my deputy. Doc's a doctor in town. We had some work to do later on in the evening. You could see the light shining behind the curtained windows, and almost everybody had a sprig of holly berries hanging up. They got some from the east a couple of days earlier. I remember running into John Bumby. He's a kind of general handyman in Dodge. Never says much, but he sure had a lot to say that night.
Oh, hello, Marshal.
Oh, hi, John.
A lovely night for Christmas Eve, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, John.
Yeah.
Pretty fine night.
Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Mr. Dillon?
Yeah, that's the way it should be, John.
You know, Marshal, this is going to be quite a night for me. Yes, sir.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, yes, sir. Tonight, I'm asking Mrs. McNish to become Mrs. Bumby.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What, John? I didn't know that.
Oh, I know it's been a mighty fast secret, but I'm popping the question Tonight?
Well, I wish you a lot of luck, John. Hey, I'll tell you what. Come by to the Texas Trail later, and we'll have a drink on it.
Oh, I will. I really will, Marshal. You're good and kind, Marshal. Good and kind. Merry Christmas, Marshal Dillon. Merry Christmas.
Well, the same to you, John. That may sound kind of funny to you, but John Bumby's a good man. A little peculiar sometimes, but good as they come. And they don't make enough like him. Of course, most everybody in Dodge suspected Doc and Ms. McNish were sweet on each other. But it just goes to show you. I'll tell you about John and Ms. McNish a little later. So I went on down the street. You know, it's a funny thing about those words, Merry Christmas. Men say it to each other, and, well, it makes them feel kind of good.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Used to be a seafaring man myself. When you're on the sea and it comes Christmas, things like that they can count a lot.
Yeah.
Well, we might as well get underway again, huh?
Sure. All right. Hey, you want to take my saddle?
Give it here.
Okay.
That's
Give it to me.
Okay. Come. I guess you'll miss it in Dodge tonight. Won't you?
Well, if you could get a little more out of this nag of yours, we might make it tonight.
No, there's not a chance. She'll be on her beam ends pretty quick. She's been on a long reach since sunup.
Oh.
Mighty bare country up this way.
All right. Depends on what you're used to, I suppose.
Well, mighty bare where I've been, too. It's not like the sea. That's always different.
How come you left it? I always heard a sailor doesn't ever get it out of his blood.
The sea? I guess you can get it out of your blood, all right. You got the right reason you can.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, you trying to get something out of me?
Well, no. Get what? I would just remark.
You want to
it.
ride with me? I don't want any talk about the sea.
Well, you brought it up.
Get it.
We will return for the second act of Gunsmoke in just a moment. But first, tomorrow night, Jack Benny and his whole fun-making gang make a personal appearance at a Long Beach, California Veterans Hospital. It's going to be a Christmas they'll never forget, as Benny and the bunch cut loose while they assist the folks at the hospital in trimming their Christmas tree. Be sure to join the fun tomorrow night on CBS Radio, when it's Jack Benny time all across America. Now for the second act of Gunsmoke.
Amos Cowley sulked his way along the trail for the next while. And then it was almost like he couldn't stand the quiet. Or maybe he had things on his mind. He turned his head.
Go on.
What?
Go on. Tell me some more.
Oh, about Dodge?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Well, you try some more, huh?
Well, they got a little pine tree in the Texas Trail.
Tree?
Yeah, come down a long way from the north. Kitty Russell, she's a hostess in the Texas Trail. Well, she got a lot of ribbon and gewgaws and made it look real nice. That was last Christmas.
Have a star at the top?
A star?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It looked like a star, I guess. It sure looked pretty. And there was a difference in the place that day. Everybody was celebrating and feeling real good. The doors would swing open and somebody would come in and, maybe somebody you just knew to nod at, but because it was Christmas Eve, he'd come right up and say, hello. Oh, maybe that's a good reason, maybe not. I don't know.
All right, I'll tell you.
Anyhow, it was still kind of early.
Just wait your turn.
Kitty and Chester were standing off looking at the tree.
Hi, Hi, Matt.
Good evening, Mr. Dillon.
Hi, Kitty. Chester.
How do you like it, Matt? Christmas tree.
That's
Oh, that's real pretty.
Only tree but one in the whole town.
Yeah, Kate's got one over the Alfaganza.
Oh, well, I'll have to see it later.
You're next.
Where's Sam?
I don't know. Maybe he started celebrating too soon.
Oh.
Doc's taking over the bar.
Yeah, that's right.
You want a drink, Kitty?
Sure.
Oh, right away. I'll get you a drink. I'll get you. You haven't forgotten anything, have you, Mr. Dillon?
Forgotten? What, Chester?
There. What did I tell you, Miss Kitty? I knew just as sure as my nose that you
Oh,
forgot.
that. No. I hadn't forgotten.
Oh, well, I thought as soon as I get Sam sober enough to take care of the customers, we could go on over to Doc's like we planned.
Sure, we'll do that, Chester.
Here you are, Matt.
Thanks, Doc. Oh.
Yeah, well, it's still snowing out.
No, it's not. Where are you going, Kitty?
All right. Just want to look outside. Ah, real pretty.
Man thinks of a lot of funny things that don't mean much. Kitty standing at the door, sniffing the cold air, and the warmth inside, and the whiskey in me. It was a good feeling. And then Chester and I decided to take a bottle over to Mr. Hightower. He's the telegraph operator over at the depot. He runs a printing shop on the side.
Say, Mr. Dillon,
Yeah, Chester.
do you mind if I stop by the church for a minute?
Well, no, I don't mind.
I just feel kind of right tonight, Mr. Dillon. Figure I ought to thank somebody for it.
Sure. So we stopped by the church. I've never been much of a man for church, I guess, but I went along with Chester. Wasn't anybody else there, just the two of us. Guess we sat for 10 minutes in that place. Chester a little way off with his head bowed. You know, there's a lot of peace in a church. Maybe it's the quiet. Maybe it's the good that people find in there. Now, whatever it was, it made a man feel glad about pretty much everything.
I haven't been in a church since I don't know when.
Oh, is that so?
I heaved to. Well, she's becalmed again, mister.
Okay.
She sure wasn't built for it, I'll tell you. You ever see anything like that?
She is kind of old, isn't she?
I've had her going on 8 years. She hasn't changed a mite. Eats like a pig and looks like a four-legged mizzenmast.
Smoke?
Don't mind. Hey, what about that fella Hightower? Did you get that bottle to him?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess it was lonely over in the depot all alone. He was glad for the company. There was a wood fire burning in the stove, but it didn't keep out the cold much.
Well, how are you, gents? Merry Christmas.
Well, how's it going, Mr. Hightower?
Oh, slow, Marshal, slow. Bit of excitement about an hour back, though.
That so?
Yeah, 9:15 got stuck between here and Hutchison. Lots of snow back there.
They getting her out?
Sure, they're trying, but I'm sure glad I'm not on it. It's going to be a cold night on that train.
Well, it's kind of chilly in here, isn't it, Mr. Hightower?
Any warmer, and I'm going to sleep.
Well, say, we brought you over a bottle of Irish for company.
Jameson's. Well, I declare I was just thinking about a tot before you boys come in. Now, that's real friendly. Will you have a drink with me?
We sure will.
Let's open her up, huh? A couple of glasses up on the shelf there, Chester. Get them down, will you?
I don't know if you get an idea about the folks in Dodge or not. They're not any different than any other people, nor the town either. I guess maybe it's a pretty small place at that. The depot, the hall, a few stores, a church, Doc's office, a Texas Trail, Alafraganza, my office. Not much, but it's where you live, you know?
Sounds all right. I lived in a town once back east. Small. I know what you mean.
Well, maybe you'll be going back.
Maybe. Say, kids, they still believe in St. Nick?
Oh, sure, I
Mighty
suppose.
few kids down where I've been. Indian kids, they don't believe in St. Nick.
No reason they should, I guess.
I used to believe in it, you know that?
Well, I guess most people did one time or another. Hey, you figure we come maybe 10 miles?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
Yeah. Well, come on. You want to ride the saddle for a bit?
Oh, no. That's okay.
Well, then, okay.
We rode on, and I thought about last year, about Kitty, Doc, and Chester and me going over to Doc's place after Doc got tired at Tendon Bar at the Texas Trail. It was about 1:45, and we stood around and sang Christmas carols. And I remember how it sounded that night, how it looked. The glow in the stove in the middle of the room, and frosty windows. Yeah, it was Christmas Eve, all right.
It was so deep, Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel.
Say, that was fine. That was just fine.
Yes, it was.
Oh, gee. Say, now, what do you say if we...
Listen.
Huh? Oh. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You know, I feel sentimental. That's exactly what I feel. I feel sentimental.
I know what you mean, Doc. I surely know.
Okay, Doc. Bring 'em out.
And I remember how Doc scuttled over to the bureau and brought out some packages. The presents weren't much, but it didn't matter what they were. And when we'd finished opening them, it was Chester who said what we were all thinking.
I just want to say, Miss Kitty, Doc, you, Mr. Dillon, I just want to say that this is the best doggone Christmas I ever had. And that's what I want to say.
Say, you was going to tell me about that fella John was courting that woman. What was her name?
Oh, yeah, Miss McNish.
That's right.
Well, she said yes, and you've never seen two happier people in your whole life. Yeah, she's Miss McNish Bumby now.
Oh, that's good.
You know, you might settle for a bit in Dodge, or you could get work there.
Sure would be fine if you could get back tonight, wouldn't it?
Well, it can't be helped. I'd be a lot further away and a sight more tired if you hadn't come along.
Yeah. Now, listen. How far do you figure before there's a place you might pick up a horse?
Oh, I don't know, 15 miles or so, maybe.
Oh, we're not going to make any 15 miles in this nag tonight, that's for sure.
Oh, that's all right.
Now, I tell you what. You go on alone, you see.
Oh, no, forget
now,
it.
you go on alone. She'd hold out with one man on her. And then you get a fresh horse and you ride into Dodge tonight.
Well, thanks. That's
now,
very
I'm
kind.
telling you, I want you to go. I'll be fine. I've walked before. Probably make it almost as quick as you.
Look, it's real nice of you, Mr. Cowley, but no thanks.
Now, Christmas don't mean nothing to me. You got friends waiting for you.
Well, I'll see him tomorrow.
Ah, you're a fool.
Well, that may be.
All of them nice folks. You're going to make them feel pretty bad.
Look, I'll stay. If you want to go on along, thanks for the ride.
Well, might as well make camp then.
I guess so.
And listen, you want to tell me some more about what you was telling me before we turn in?
Well, sure.
I take it kindly, mister. I'll get yourself settled. I got some stuff in my pack we can eat and maybe get a fire going. Then after we eat, you can tell me some more.
We made a fire and then shared what we had for supper. He seemed to soften up after that, and we talked for a couple or 3 hours. It was like he was starved for news of people, everyday things, and just plain company. And that's how we spent Christmas Eve together out on the plain. And then when the fire was dying down and I was about ready for sleep, he said,
Marshal.
Yeah?
I want to tell you something. I've been needing to tell it for a long time. Do you mind?
Well, of course I don't mind.
Well, then I'll tell you. A few years ago, I was skipper of a little schooner. Used to sail up and down the East Coast, you know, Boston, New York.
Yeah.
Well, one night, we hit dirty weather off New Jersey. Real dirty. Blew us off course, and we piled up on the rocks and knocked the bottom out.
That's too bad.
There was 18 passengers aboard, Marshal. 4 of them was kids. We never saw them again.
No.
And my own wife and my kid went down, too.
I'm sorry.
Well, now, something must have happened to me after that. I didn't want nothing to do with ships or the sea, and I started to drift out this way. I couldn't forget, though, do you know? And I didn't want to be near folks, especially kids, to remind me, do you know?
Yeah.
And that's how come I've been slewing around ever since.
Sure, I understand.
Just kind of wanted to get it off my chest.
Sure.
Marshal, I'd like to ride into Dodge with you tomorrow. You think I might meet some of them folks you was telling about?
Oh, I don't see why not.
That'd be all right. Maybe I wouldn't need to drift no more. Maybe I could drop anchor, do you know?
Yeah, you might at that.
Yes. Well, good night.
Good night.
Merry Christmas, Marshal.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Cowley.
Gunsmoke, under the direction of Norman Macdonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Tonight's story was specially written for Gunsmoke by Anthony Ellis, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Featured in the cast were Lawrence Dobkin, with Harry Bartell and John Daner, Parley Bear as Chester, Howard McNear as Doc, and Georgia Ellis as Kitty. Gunsmoke is heard by our troops overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Join us again next week as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke. Tomorrow night, Edgar Bergen's real-life daughter, Candy, pays him and you a visit on The Edgar Bergen Show with Charlie McCarthy. Candy and Charlie hit it off fine, but Edgar has cause to regret his hasty decision to invite his 6-year-old daughter into the show, especially when she starts throwing her voice. Sounds like fun tomorrow night on most of these same stations when CBS Radio presents The Edgar Bergen Show with Charlie McCarthy. this is Roy Rowan speaking. And remember, Eve Arden as our Miss Brooks teaches you how to laugh every Sunday on the CBS Radio Network.
Gunsmoke, brought to you by L&M Filters. This is it. L&M is best, stands out from all the rest. Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The transcribed story of the violence that moved west with young America. And the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man, Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely.
Shucks. Doggone the luck. Cuss it. Oh, hello, Chester. Oh, hello, John. Doggone the luck, anyway. Mr. Dillon?
Well, how are you, Chester?
How long you been standing here?
Oh, not long. I'm waiting to go to dinner with Doc, if he ever comes out of his office, that is.
Well, have you been here a half hour?
No, not that long, I don't think. Why?
Well, I thought maybe you'd seen Miss Kitty out here in the street somewhere.
No, I haven't seen her.
She's got to be someplace.
Well, I expect she is, Chester.
Well, there's no place I know of. I can't find her.
How'd you try the Longhorn?
Oh, no, sir. She's never in there before afternoon sometime.
Oh, what about her room?
That's where I was supposed to meet her, Mr. Dillon. But she ain't there, and nobody saw her. Nobody I talked to, anyway.
Well, she'll be around.
Yeah, but it ain't like Miss Kitty not to be where she says she'll be.
Now, don't get so worried, Chester. It can't be that important.
Well, it's pretty important to me.
Oh?
Yes, sir. I got a date tonight with a little girl who works over at the Alphaganza.
Oh, what's that got to do with Kitty?
Well, my only pair of good pants got busted, Mr. Dillon, and Miss Kitty was patching them up for me. She told me to come pick them up today just before noon.
No wonder you're worried. Is this a new girl that you got, Chester?
Yes, sir. Well, she's new to me. Little southern gal with a mouthful of honey, Mr. Dillon.
Honey, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes good bait for old bears like you.
Oh, Mr. Dillon, I ain't no bear. Not really.
Hello, Matt. Chester.
Yeah, hello, Doc.
Doc, how are you?
Oh, I hope I haven't kept you waiting too long, Matt.
Now, that's okay, Doc. Now I won't have to worry if I'm the one that's late next time.
Huh? I'm not the one that's late.
Oh, you're not?
No. Kitty is.
Kitty?
Yes, she said yesterday she'd be in at noon. Wanted me to look at a tooth that's been bothering her. And I promised I'd be there, but I can't wait forever.
It seems like Kitty's late all the way around today, doesn't it?
I was supposed to see her too, Doc, but I can't find her no place.
Well, it doesn't matter. She's probably sleeping in for a change.
No, she ain't. I've been to her room. Nobody saw her around there at all.
Is that so?
She said she'd be there.
Well, come to think of it, it's not like Kitty. When she says she'll be there, she's there.
It kindly worries me.
Now, you two getting all worked up over nothing. Kitty isn't that clock-like.
Well, then where is she, Matt?
I don't know where she is. Kitty's a big girl. She can take care of herself. Now, stop worrying about her.
Hey, here comes Sam Noonan. Maybe he knows where she's at.
Well, how would he know?
Well, Miss Kitty works for him at the Long Branch, don't she?
Sure, but Sam doesn't keep her on a string. Her time's her own.
Morning, gentlemen.
Hello, Sam.
How are you,
Hello,
Say,
Sam.
Sam, you ain't seen Miss Kitty around today, have you?
Oh, Chester, I ain't. Noticed you men standing here. Thought I'd come ask you.
You mean that you're looking for her, too?
Well, she was going to come to the Long Branch about 10 o'clock. Went down early to meet her, and she ain't showed up yet, Marshal.
10 o'clock's pretty early for Kitty, isn't it, Sam?
For sure, but she was doing it as a favor to me. I want to get started repainting the place, and she was going to give me some ideas about making it real fancy. She said she'd be there, and I got a man waiting to go to work on it this afternoon.
You know, it beats me. Kitty takes one morning off, and everybody in Dodge is out looking for her.
Well, I don't know about everybody else, Marshal, but I do know when Kitty says she'll do something, she does it.
That's just what we've been saying, Sam. Where do you think she's got to, anyway?
I ain't gone looking for it, Chester. I've just been waiting.
Matt,
Yeah, what, Doc?
Kitty might miss one appointment, but she'd never in the world miss 3.
Who saw her last? You, Sam? What time did she leave the Long Branch last night?
Oh, it was early, Marshal. It was real early.
Oh, why? Where did she go?
Well, she was talking to some dude from back east. I never saw him before, and they both disappeared about 10 o'clock. I don't know where they went.
She didn't come back?
That's the last I seen of her.
Yeah. Who is this dude? You know his name?
No, I don't. He was a tall, thin fella, had fancy clothes. That's all I know.
I don't trust them dudes and never did.
Well, maybe we better find him and talk to him.
Well, where are we going to find him?
The Dodge House, Chester. A man like that wouldn't stop anyplace else. Look, Doc, you better go ahead and eat. I'll join you if I can.
We hope you're having a wonderful Christmas, that the holly and mistletoe look brighter than ever, that you're enjoying your gifts and the fun that goes with them. While you're relaxing with your holiday thoughts, I'd like to suggest one more touch that's perfect for times like this. Light up an L&M. If you're a filter tip smoker, L&M is best. Stands out from all the rest. Stands out for flavor, for effective filtration, for highest quality tobaccos. It adds up to the greatest pleasure in filter tip smoking. L&M's got everything.
This is it, L&M filters, this is it.
Light and mild.
It's the best, L&M filters, highest quality filter tip.
This is it.
L&M filters with the miracle tip.
King size or regular, L&M is best. Stands out from all the rest.
Say, maybe this fella got her outside and knocked her in the head and robbed her, Mr. Dillon.
Kitty doesn't carry money on her, Chester.
Well, she wears jewelry.
She's also over 21 years old, and she's got enough sense not to let anybody knock her on the head.
And if he did, I suppose somebody would have found her by now.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, look. There's Mr. Doby himself at the desk in there.
Oh, good.
Chester.
Hello, Mr. Dobie.
Hiya, Dobie.
Now, don't tell me the Dodge House has taken in another gunman. You're going to shoot the place up again.
Well, that wouldn't happen so often if you'd make your guests check their guns, Dobie.
Kind of people come in here to take the army to do that.
That's a poor rule anyway. A man can always hide a gun.
Or a knife.
It's not that kind of a man I'm looking for this time, Dobie. It's an Easterner, some dude.
What's his name?
Well, I don't know his name, but he's tall and thin, and he's a sort of a fancy dresser. He's new to Dodge.
Must be that fella Rackmill.
Rackmill?
He fits your description, but he sure didn't look like no troublemaker to me. What's he done?
I don't know, Toby. I don't know. Maybe nothing. Is he in his room?
No, he ain't. Funny thing, now you mention it. Clerk told me this morning that Rackmill didn't come in at all last night.
You didn't?
I didn't think nothing about it till now. Oh, you know how some fellas are. They get to playing cards or something.
He ain't up to no good, Mr. Dillon. I just know he ain't.
Toby, what do you know about him?
I told you all I know. He come here day before yesterday. Said he was traveling around, seeing the West. I don't think he's working. He don't act sharp enough to be a gambler.
Okay, Toby, thanks. Thanks very much. Look, if he does come in, don't say anything about my being here, will you?
Not a word, Marshal. But I'll send somebody after you if you want.
Good.
I gotta go find that clerk. I ain't paying him for me to stand here all day.
Well, what are we going to do now, Mr. Dillon?
Look, I tell you, Chester, you go down and check the stage, huh? I'm going to go over to the depot, and I'll see you back at the office.
You think he might have kidnapped her?
Well, we'll know when we find her, Chester. Did you find anything, Chester? Oh, hello, Doc.
Oh, hello, Matt.
Nobody ain't seen him at the stage office, Mr. Dillon. There's only one stage out today, and that left this morning, and they wasn't on it.
Yeah, well, I didn't think there would be.
What about the train? Did they leave on that?
They remember Rackmill when he came in the other day, but he hasn't bought any ticket to leave.
Then he must be somewhere in Dodge, Matt.
I stopped by Miss Kitty's room on my way back, Mr. Dillon. She ain't been in yet.
You know, they tell me back in New York, some policemen do nothing but look for people that are missing. That's how many disappear all the time.
Do they find them, Doc?
Sometimes, yes, of course. They always check the city morgue first. Oh, that's where they find a lot of them.
People that got killed, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, some just fall down and die on the streets. Heart seizure, something like that kind of hits them. But, of course, a lot of them are victims of murder or killing of one kind of, fights and things like that.
Yeah, it must happen a lot. They got so many people living there.
It does, but it can happen anywhere, Chester. Only in New York, they're better organized to locate people that are missing and don't come home when they should.
Always check the morgue first, huh?
Yeah, that's the best place. It saves a lot of time and trouble.
Hey, we ought to have a morgue here in Dodge.
Oh, whatever. Oh, Jeff, we don't need one, but Dodge isn't big enough for a morgue.
No, I guess it ain't. And besides, people don't come up missing here very often.
Well, if you two well-wishers have got the morgue problem settled, I'd like to say something.
Why, surely, Matt. Go ahead.
If Kitty was in Dodge, we'd have heard from her by now. I'm presuming she's alive, of course, Doc, if that doesn't go too much against your theory.
Oh, of course she is, man. Of course she's alive. I was telling Chester about things back east, that's all.
And if she's left Dodge and she didn't go by stage or by train, then there's only one other way that she could have gone, isn't there?
You mean she walked?
That'd be about as likely as you walking somewhere, Chester. I don't know why I didn't think about it before. Let's go down to the stable.
I don't know why I didn't think about them going horseback either, Mr. Dillon. I guess maybe it's because they say that fellow Rackmill's a dude. Horses don't seem his style.
We don't know that much about him, Chester.
What if he went alone? What if he didn't take Miss Kitty with him after all?
Well, he can go anywhere he wants to. Alone.
Well, I don't see Moss Grimmick nowhere.
Hey, Moss. Moss Grimmick. Hey.
Here now. Who's doing all that hollering?
He's laying in that stall over there, Mr. Dillon. He's been sleeping.
Oh, it's you, Marshal. Chester, you woke me up.
I'm sorry to bother you, Moss, but I got to talk to you.
Trouble, Marshal?
Well, I don't know. But if there is, maybe you can help me.
Always willing to help, Marshal.
Tell me, have you rented out any horses lately, Moss? Last night or today?
No, I haven't. Business has been mighty slow all week, Marshal.
No, you haven't. You sure?
Well, you mean saddle horses, don't you?
Yeah, sure.
I thought so. No man's gonna make a getaway in a buggy, is he?
In a buggy? What, do you rent buggies?
Not often, but I did last night. By golly, I'm glad you reminded me. He ain't brought it back yet. That fellow still got my buggy, Marshal.
Who was it, Moss?
Some stranger. I never saw him before.
Was he an Easterner?
He ain't from around here, not in them clothes.
Did he, have anybody with him?
Yeah, he had a girl. She waited outside for him. I didn't pay no attention to her. It was a good moon last night, and they was going for a little drive. But I want my horse and buggy back, Marshal. You think they went and stole it?
Tell me, Moss, did he say where they were going?
He said something about Indian Spring. Asked me how far it was. I told him 20 miles. He figured that was too far, but said maybe they'd drive down Parkway. What'll I do, Marshal?
Oh, what time was it when they took the buggy?
10 o'clock, maybe?
No, there's nothing down toward Indian Spring I know of, Mr. Dillon. There's hardly even any ranches down there. They must have run into trouble of some kind.
Maybe that's it, Marshal. I'll tell you. I didn't bother to mention it since they wasn't going far, but one of the iron rims is off the left wheel on that buggy. Could be they hit a rock and the wheel busted.
Yeah, maybe. But it doesn't take all night and half a day to walk 20 miles. But don't worry about your buggy, Moss. We'll find it.
Today, along with the traditional pleasures of the holiday, many a filter tip smoker has discovered a new pleasure. He's received his first carton of L&M's. If it happened to you, and you've started to smoke those L&M's, you know how they stand out from all the rest. You're enjoying the incomparable taste of highest quality tobaccos. Best flavor ever to come through a filter. You've discovered that no filter compares with L&M's pure, white, easy-drawing miracle tip. Yes, if someone gave you L&M's for Christmas, you've got the best, because L&M's got everything.
There was no trail going to Indian Spring, so all we could do was start out in the general direction and then ride back and forth across the prairie till we found the buggy tracks. That took an hour, but from then on it was easy. We covered the first 10 miles fast, so fast that we almost missed where the buggy had stopped and a woman's footprints led away from it. We followed these for a mile or two, and then up ahead we suddenly saw puffs of smoke coming from a clump of box elder, Indian style.
That must be Miss Kitty in there, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah.
Well, is she signaling or what?
Well, it looks like it.
And she must be in trouble.
Maybe.
That rack mill fellow must have put her out and just left her to starve. Now, why would he do a thing like that?
Well, he's not going to get far enough in that buggy for me not to ask him personally, Chester. But first, we'll take care of Kitty.
There she is. She sees us. She's waving. Hi, Miss Kitty. Oh, she's all right, Mr. Dillon. She ain't hurt. Oh, look. Over evermore.
She's been using a petticoat to make them smoke signals with.
You see my smoke signal? How you found me?
No, we tracked you, Miss Kitty. Sure is good to see you.
What's the matter with your ankle, Kitty?
Oh, well, I turned it. It's not that swollen. How'd you know?
Well, I could tell by your tracks back there that you were favoring it.
I never noticed that.
Well, that's why I had to stop walking, Matt. I knew it'd get worse and I'd never make dodge on it. I figured I was better off here than out in the prairie where I couldn't even build a fire.
Well, that was smart of you, Kitty. Look, you can ride on one of our horses back, and we'll go double, huh?
In this skirt?
Oh. Well, one of us can wait here with you while the other one goes and fetches a buggy, okay?
No, that'd take too long. I'll make it. I can ride side saddle if we don't go too fast.
Okay. You must be hungry.
Oh,
You know, we didn't think to bring anything to eat.
I'm starved. At least I've had water. There's a tiny little spring under that rock over there.
Yeah. You're lucky you had matches, too.
I wish I'd had a gun. It's alive with rabbits around here.
Well, you could have trapped some if you'd stayed here long enough. I'll show you how someday.
Thanks. But I hope I never need to know how.
Oh, Chester, will you go get our hat and stuff and then throw some sand on that fire?
All right, sir. And I'll have me a drink of water while I'm at it.
Then we'll get started for Dodge, Kitty. Yeah, the sooner we get there, the sooner you can eat.
A side of beef and a sack of potatoes would make a good start.
You know, come to think of it, I missed dinner myself. I'll join you.
I'm sorry I'm so much trouble, Matt.
As long as you're safe. You know, you had everybody worried. Me and Chester and Doc, Sam Noonan.
I know. I've been thinking about it. Matt?
Yeah.
I turned up missing, so you scout around and finally tracked me down clear out here in the prairie and find me standing around on one foot in a bunch of little trees playing Indian. And you don't even ask me how I got here.
I know how you got here.
Well, sure, of course. With Jim Rackmill and that fool buggy. Part way, anyhow. But that's not what I mean, man.
Well, if he'd been out to kidnap or murder you, I guess you'd have mentioned it before this, wouldn't you?
I felt so silly. I feel like a fool telling it.
Well, go ahead, say it. It can't be that bad.
Rackmill's an Easterner. He's never been out here before. And we got to talking. And he said he'd like to see the prairie in the moonlight. It was my idea. We rent a buggy and take a drive for an hour or so. Anything to get out of that smoky saloon for a while. So we did.
And he tried to hold your hand. And you got mad. And you slapped him. And you jumped down and you started walking.
How'd you know that?
I know you, Kitty. You know, sometimes you've got a terrible temper.
Well, I paid for it this time. Honest, Matt, that's all he did. Tried to hold my hand.
I believe it. You know, but you'd have been smarter if you just slapped him and let it go at that. You could have ridden back to Dodge in style.
Why'd I have to act like a schoolgirl, Matt?
I don't know, Kitty. Some people grow up slow. But I'll tell you one thing. It's a lot better than growing up too fast.
Well, thanks for that anyway, Matt.
Hey, look out yonder, Mr. Dillon. Look what's coming.
What?
It's Rackmill in the buggy. I forgot all about him. Where in the world's he been all this time?
Well, looks like we ain't gonna have to run him down after all, don't it?
Well, he didn't do anything, Chester. He tried to hold my hand.
Well, he sure looks wild now.
Now, listen, you two. You stay out of this. Leave Rackmill to me. I'll handle him.
Come on, Chester. Let's ease up those saddles, huh?
Yes, sir.
Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty, are you all right?
Am I all right?
I've been going crazy trying to find you. It was dark, and you disappeared so fast, and then I finally saw the smoke a while ago.
You did, huh? How'd you know that smoke wasn't Indian?
Well, I didn't know. In fact, I thought it must be. I had to make sure, Miss Kitty.
Well, dude, you're a pretty brave man, Mr. Rockville.
Oh, I knew it wasn't Indians as soon as I saw them. Have they been bothering you, Miss Kitty?
What?
Come on, Miss Kitty. Get in the buggy.
Aren't you forgetting I got out of that buggy once?
We'll talk about it later. Take my arm. Take it.
Well, I'll say one thing, Mr. Rockmiller. You're sure right about going crazy.
Please, Miss Kitty.
No. I like it here. I've been real comfortable. I'm going to stay. Learn how to trap rabbits. I may decide to live here, Mr. Rockmiller.
No, you don't understand. Miss Kitty, we're all alone, way out in the prairie. I don't like the looks of those men. I've got to get you out of here.
You've got to get me out of here. You.
Please be sensible before it's too late.
It's already too late. Now, get in your buggy and go on back to Dodge, if you can find it.
I can find it, all right. I promise you I can. Come, Miss Kitty.
Which way is Dodge?
What? Why, it's right back there.
You're pointing towards Texas.
Well, it doesn't matter. We'll find it. I won't leave you here, Miss Kitty. I don't care how mad you get.
Oh, I'm getting mad again,
It doesn't matter. I don't blame you for last night. I apologize. I shouldn't have tried to hold your hand. I just lost myself for a moment, that's all. It won't happen again. I promise you. But I am not going to leave you here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Racknell. I've been unfair. I do have a bad temper, you know.
Yes, I know.
And you're right about those two. They are a pretty tough-looking pair, aren't they?
They're coming back.
As a matter of fact, they do look more like desperados than lawmen.
Lawmen?
Mr. Racknell, this is Marshal Dillon of Dodge City, Kansas.
Marshal Dillon?
And that's Chester Proudfoot.
How do you do?
How do you do?
It's okay, Rackmo. We're not after you.
I didn't know that she knew you. I mean, I thought you were strangers.
No, we're not strangers. In fact, we rode out here to find Kitty.
I've been trying to find her, too. All night and all day, I've been driving around.
Now, wait a minute. You men aren't going to make all this my fault. I only did what any lady'd do.
Kitty, you do a lot better if you get something to eat.
Eat? What are we standing around here for? Matt, will you and Chester ride along with us?
Sure we will, Kitty.
And Mr. Racknell, when we get to Dodge, maybe you'll have supper with us.
That's very kind of you, Miss Kitty.
Good. Now, if you'll hold my hand, you can help me into the buggy.
And now our star, William Conrad.
Thank you, George. Speaking for all the folks who make and sell Chesterfields as well as L&M filters, Liggett & Myers Tobacco Company, there are 1,300,000 retail dealers and more than 6,000 wholesale distributors. I sincerely hope this is the merriest Christmas ever for you and those close to you.
Gunsmoke, produced and transcribed under the direction of Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Our story was specially written for Gunsmoke by John Meston, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Sound patterns by Tom Handley and Ray Kemper. Featured in the cast were John Daner, James Nusser, Barney Phillips, and Vic Perrin. Parley Bear is Chester, Howard McNear is Doc, and Georgia Ellis is Kitty. Join us again next week as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke. What keeps a family happy? You'll agree if you look at the happiest families you know that it takes more than Dad's paying the bills. Mostly, it's doing things together. A family outing, a backyard barbecue, or games together in the evening. These are the precious moments of family life, the shared moments. Going to worship each week is another of the good things in life for the family to share. Enrich the lives of your family. Worship together. Remember, listen again next week for another story of the Western frontier when Marshal Matt Dillon, Chester Proudfoot, Doc, and Kitty, together with all the other hard-living citizens of Dodge, will be with you once more. It's America growing west in the 1870s. It's drama. It's Gunsmoke. Brought to you by L&M Filters.
This is the CBS Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, before an audience of several hundred members of the 1st Motion Picture Unit of the United States Army Air Corps, Bristol Myers, the makers of Ipana for the Smile of Beauty, and Sal Hepatica for the Smile of Health, present It's Time to Smile with Eddie Cantor.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Jingle bell, jingle bell. No. Merry Christmas, Harry. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Eddie.
Yeah.
Hollywood is really decorated for Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hollywood and Vine, there are 2 big Santa Clauses hanging on the lamppost
No,
there.
just one, Harry. The other one is W.C. Fields. He's been hanging there since last New Year's.
You say it's W.C. Fields?
You should have seen him last night. He stood there for an hour singing, I'm dreaming of a wet Christmas. I was there.
Well, I guess everybody's eagerly awaiting Santa Claus, Eddie.
Look, Harry, I don't want to shock you because you're such a young boy.
What's the matter?
But Santa Claus has decided not to come here this year. It's too dangerous the way things are.
I don't understand. Well, what do you mean?
If his reindeer show up in Los Angeles, the butchers will grab him. No. Well, you know,
No, wait a minute, Eddie.
Yeah.
Is the meat shortage really that serious?
Don't you? Is it serious?
Yeah, well,
Listen, this morning a cop's horse galloped down Hollywood Boulevard, and 14 pedestrians bit him on the run. By the time that horse got to the station, he was only a colt.
Say, that reminds me, I saw you on the boulevard this morning,
Well,
Eddie.
naturally.
You were probably doing your Christmas shopping.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that Woolworth's is a great place, isn't it?
I was in all the stores, Harry. In all the stores I was.
I didn't know.
And you wouldn't be so insulting if you knew what kind of a gift I got for you.
Oh, a gift?
Well,
for me?
Of course, Harry.
Oh, boy, what am I getting?
Well, I'll give you a hint. You put it on your finger and it shines.
Oh, yeah, same as last year. Nail polish.
No!
Well, look here, Eddie. You haven't spent all your time shopping, have you?
Well, of course not. Well, you know why, Harry.
Why?
Didn't I discuss it with you, Harry?
What happened?
With Ida Lupino as our guest tonight, I spent most of the time learning to be a gentleman. I told you I was going to do it.
Well, what do you mean, learning to be?
Look, she's a great actress, Harry.
Yes.
Extremely dignified. So I spent all day yesterday taking diction lessons. What a time I had. There I was with the professor of speech. Hanley Stafford?
Hanley Stafford?
Baby Snook's father?
Oh,
He's the professor of speech. Yes. When I was in his place yesterday, he was saying to me...
Now, Mr. Cantor, you must learn to speak in glowing terms. You should know the meaning of adjectives.
Professor, you don't have to worry about my grammar. I happen to be an extremely intelligent person. Besides, I know exactly what adjectives is. I know.
That's fine. Now, in meeting a woman of Ida Lupino's social standing,
yes,
one must speak flawlessly and with great dignity.
Naturally.
If you are guilty of crude, harsh pronunciation,
yes,
it stinks. To begin your lesson on diction, read the first sentence in this book.
In this book? Okay.
Yes.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
No. You must get those pear-shaped toes.
Oh, round, yes.
For instance, pooter-pooper, pook-to-pook, pookle-pooper.
Hookle poopers? Where do you buy them, in a Dulacatoos?
Precisely. All right, now you try the line.
A poodle pooper?
No. Your mouth isn't shaped correctly. Now, come on. Pucker up. Pucker up.
I didn't think you cared.
Now, get off my lap and continue with the rest of the exercise.
Yes.
Try this paragraph.
Very well. After taking my departure, I arrived at Albuquerque.
No.
No?
Not Albuquerque.
Not Albuquerque?
Albuquerque.
From Albuquerque, I went to Louisiana.
No.
No.
Not Louisiana. Louisiana.
All right. From Louisiana, we arrived in Ohio. Fool around with that one, wise guy.
Oh, that's silly. Why would anyone want to fool around with Ohio?
Okay, Professor, what is next?
Now repeat after me. I would appreciate your giving me 4 gallons of gasoline.
I would appreciate you giving me 9 gallons of gasoline.
I said 4.
I've got a B book. And that, Harry, is exactly what happened last night. I've studied so hard, I do hope I'll make an impression on Ida Lupino when she arrives. You see, Harry...
There's someone at the door.
That may be she now. Oh, do enter, please.
Hello, Mr. Conter.
Hattie McDaniel. Hattie, the way you spoke, I thought you were Ida Lupino.
Boss, is you off the beam?
Tell me, Hattie, where have you been all day?
I've been Christmas shopping.
Yeah?
Rochester's in New York, so I sent him something to keep him warm.
To keep warm, huh? What size?
2 gallons.
Have you heard from Rochester since he's been to New York, Hattie?
Constantly. Just listen to his last letter. He says, Dear Cuddles.
Cuddles.
It's cold here in New York, and I'm still warm from your goodbye kisses. Wish you were here, 'cause it's getting time to refuel.
Tell me, Hattie, does he say anything about Jack Benny, Mr. Benny, you know?
Yes, he says, Mr. Benny played golf in Central Park this morning and managed to divot up a lovely Christmas tree.
Divot? Continue, Hattie.
He says, Central Park is beautiful this time of the year. This morning I visited the duck pond. Now if I can locate a cranberry pond, our Christmas dinner will be complete.
What else does Rochester have to say in the letter?
He says, we'll return to California soon. Mr. Benny is anxious to get back to Carmichael as there's a meat shortage.
Yeah.
He has given me a straight razor for Christmas and wants me to shave Carmichael in my own inimitable way.
Go on, Hattie.
This will be the second time I have tried to shave Carmichael. The last time I tried to shave him, he gained momentary possession of the razor.
Yes.
And that's the first time a polar bear ever gave a man a GI haircut.
Thank you, Hattie. Gee, I wonder what could be keeping Ida Lupino. Maybe I better go out and phone her. Harry, will you take over while I'm gone?
Oh, yes, I'd be glad to, Eddie.
I better be careful how I speak to her. I must remember my diction. Albuquerque, pickled pooper.
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, for the second time in 2 weeks, our own Dinah Shore has been honored in the popularity polls. This morning, she was notified that the newspaper and magazine radio editors of America, in a poll conducted by Radio Daily, have elected her as the best female popular singer in the country. And now our own Dinah is going to sing, This is the Army, Mr. Jones.
This is the Army, Mr. Jones. No private rooms or telephones. You had your breakfast in bed before, but you won't have it there anymore. This is the Army, Mr. Green. like the barracks nice and clean. You had a housemaid to clean your floor, but she won't help you out anymore. Do what the buglers command. They're in the army and not in the band. This is the army, Mr. Brown. You and your baby went to town. She had you worried, but this is war, and she won't worry you anymore. You're in the army now. You're not behind the plow. You gotta get up, you gotta get up. You're in the army now. You're in the army now. You're not behind the plow. You gotta get up, you gotta get up. You're in the army now. This is the army, Mr. Brown. You and your baby went to town. She had you worried, but this is war, and she won't worry you anymore.
Oh, Dinah, Harry, I finally got this diction business figured out. You see, it's all in your breathing.
Oh, shucks, there's nothing. I've been breathing for years.
But not this way. Look, I'll show you. First, take a deep breath and hold it for the count of 20.
Count of 20. Like this?
That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But Mr. Cantor.
Yes, Dinah?
I don't see what breathing's got to do with it.
Well, it's really very simple, Dinah. You see, your voice comes from your diaphragm, so...
Yeah?
Okay, Harry, okay. 5, 6, 7, see, Dinah? If you hold your breath for 20 counts, then...
Mr. Cantor, Harry's getting purple. Keep counting.
8, 9. Harry, you shouldn't have done that. Now we'll have to start all over. Gosh.
Oh, look, Eddie, forget about my diction. I'm here to tell people how they can feel better, faster, and it's what I say, not how I say it, that counts.
I think you're right, Harry.
All right.
That makes me...
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please remember this one thing. The next time you wake up feeling dull and headachy due to the need of a laxative, just remember Sal Hepatica and take it right away. Because then Sal Hepatica brings gentle, speedy relief, usually within an hour. So why wait until night to take the laxative you need in the morning? Then risk feeling miserable all day. Sal Hepatica has this additional advantage.
Sparkling Sal Hepatica also helps sweeten an upset stomach by helping to reduce excess gastric acidity.
So get a bottle of Sal Hepatica from your druggist tonight or tomorrow. And any time you need a laxative, morning, noon, or night, see how much faster you feel better when you take gentle, speedy Sal Hepatica.
What's
the matter, Eddie?
I just spoke to Ida Lupino. I spoke to her on the phone, Harry.
No, but...
She's on her way over here. Tell me quick, do I look all right?
Well, don't worry about your looks, Eddie. That's silly. Why make such a fuss over Ida Lupino?
I know, but...
After, what if she is young and beautiful? What if she does have a pretty face, beautiful hair?
Yeah.
What if she's got a gorgeous figure? And take a look, Eddie. Do I look all right?
Of course you look all right, Harry. Tell us. Harry, this is serious. Gosh, I hope I remember my language lesson, my diction, everything done... Well, Ida Lupino, here she is. Miss Lupino, it is indeed an honor and a privilege to have my program graced by so charming and cultured a lady.
Quit stalling, Popeye, and let's make what the belly laughs.
Belly laughs?
Yeah, the gagaroos. Slip the nifty to me, Shifty. Shoot me a whopper and I'll give you a topper, Popper.
Shifty Papa shoot me a whopper? What's happened to you, Ida? You sound like you had a transfusion from Phil Harris.
Eddie, my dear, from now on, call me Peanuts Lupino. I'm giving up the drama and going into vaudeville.
Oh, no, Ida. You're making a mistake giving up your dramatic career for comedy. Gosh, don't. Comedians aren't happy. It gets tiresome having people laugh at your jokes all the time.
How would you know?
Jack Benny told me. Shut up! Take my advice, Ida. Stick to your serious roles. You really know how to handle drama. Why, the last time I went to see your picture, I cried and I cried.
Oh, Eddie, my acting affected you so much.
No, I got there just after the prices changed. It was awful. I'm only fooling, Ida. Gosh, your performance in Life Begins at 8:30 really touched me emotionally. It did.
Oh, well, Eddie, don't tell me you shed tears.
Shed tears, she says. Shed tears. I cried so much the ushers were floating up and down the aisles, battling the current. Why, my tears really flooded that place. Twice during the picture, a submarine came up in the loggias.
Eddie, you're exaggerating.
I'm not. Just look at these eyes. I've really got something to cry with, you know. She likes my eyes. Look at these romantic eyes. Ida, I know that you're planning a picture with Charles Boyer, but let me show you how a real lover kisses. Do you mind?
Kiss you instead of Boyer.
Yes, that's right.
Eddie, if I can get caviar, why should I settle for hamburger?
A hunk of hamburger might come in mighty handy on a Tuesday night, babe. And he knows what I mean.
All right, Eddie. Come on. Well, come on. Kiss me. What are you waiting for?
Do you want me plain or with onions?
Eddie, let's stop this nonsense. I told you I'm through with love scenes and drama. I want to do a vaudeville act.
Oh, Ida, I've been thinking, you don't belong in vaudeville. You should go into that branch of show business where they'll appreciate your face and figure more.
Like what?
Like dancing.
But, Eddie, I can't dance.
Well, for this kind of job, you really don't have to dance. You can just strut around a little. You know what I mean?
Strut around?
Look, I'll explain it this way, Ida. What is the first thing you did when you came into the studio tonight?
Well, I took my coat off.
Well, why stop there?
Eddie, you mean...
Just picture your name up in lights. Gypsy Rose Lupino. A pretty girl who's like a moon. You know what I mean?
Yes, but if I did that, what would happen to my fans?
Nothing if you hold them right.
No, I'm definitely going into vaudeville.
Well, if you insist. Look, Ida, I like you, but do you expect to work alone in your act? You know, you're new at this thing.
Mm-hmm. No, I was thinking of hiring some stooge.
Yeah.
How would you like the job?
That is one of the dirtiest remarks I've ever had on this Time to Smile program. With pen and cellophane. I want to tell you something. If you think that Eddie Cantor would act as this... How much will you pay?
$10 a week.
I'll take it.
You're willing to work for $10? Why?
For once in my life, I'll be getting money from somebody named Ida.
Okay, it's a deal, Eddie. Here's the routine, and let's rehearse the act right now.
We'll do it. All right. Cookie Fairchild, music, if you please. Why, little girl, how do you do?
How do you do?
Haven't I seen you someplace before?
You may have. I've often been there.
Well, tell me, kid, do you like the suit I'm wearing? It was made by Hart, Crafter, and Cobb.
Looks like something Roebuck made when Sears had his back turned.
Just the same, honey. The girls I go with like it.
Are you popular with the ladies?
Yes. I always have a girl on the string.
That one you had last night should have been on a leash.
You shouldn't talk that way to me today, because I'm worried about my mother.
Yes? What's the matter?
Well, you see, we moved to Boston and I was born.
Yes?
Then we moved to Twin Falls and my 2 brothers were born.
Yes?
Then we moved to Three Rivers, Michigan, and my 3 sisters were born.
Yes?
My father wants to move to the Thousand Islands. The bells are ringing for me and my...
Isn't he the nicest man? Bought my ring at the 5 and 10.
The birds are singing for me and my...
He's as sweet as sugar candy. In the parlor, he's so handy.
Everybody is knowing to a wedding they're going. And for weeks they've been sewing. Every Susie and Sal.
From the kitchen, he won't budge when I'm making maple fudge.
They're congregating
for me and my...
I love him so, I must not would. When he shaves, he smells so good.
The parson's waiting for me and my...
When the preacher bakes us one, holy gee, won't we have fun?
And someday we're gonna build a little home for 2, for 3, or 4 or more in love land for me and my...
My heart is beating fast with joy. I know our first will be a boy.
What'll you bet? In love land for me and my gal. You know, Ida, I've got dancing in my blood.
You must have poor circulation. Hasn't got to your feet yet. By the way, Eddie, whatever happened to that watchdog you had?
Oh, we gave him away.
Wasn't he any good?
Well, we didn't mind when the burglar got in the house and he didn't bark. But when he started carrying the burglar searchlight, that was going too far.
We have a remarkable dog, too.
You have?
Yes. The other day when a fire broke out, the dog ran into the house, came out with the insurance policies wrapped in a damp towel.
No. Speaking of remarkable animals, my father's in the hospital, you know.
Yes? What's the matter with him?
He has housemaid's knee.
Housemaid's knee?
Yes, my mother caught him sitting on it.
Speaking of housemaid's knee, Eddie, my family just bought a farm.
Is it a large farm?
Well, we have 100 chickens and we get 99 eggs.
Why only 99 eggs?
The other one is the bookkeeper.
No!
Eddie,
Yeah.
you certainly are at home on the stage.
Well, it wasn't always that way, Ida. When I first went on the stage, I was nervous and jerky.
Well, you're not nervous now.
In love. Ida, at that, you know, we'd be great and vaudeville together. Why do you say that we actually form a team, huh?
Well, Eddie, are you sure I'm the partner you want?
Of course, Ida. Why, with your talent, we couldn't miss. Now, listen. I start the act with a buck and wing. Then I do a quick change into a blackface number.
That's when I go on.
No. I lead right into a couple of jokes. Big laugh, see?
Then me.
No. Then I've got a great juggling routine.
And now me.
No, finally, I top off the act with a sensational acrobatic stunt. There I am, balancing 6 goldfish bowls and riding a bicycle on a tightrope 50 feet over the stage.
But, Eddie, what about me?
Do you have to do anything? Why, you'll stand on the side of the stage and smile. And who will look at me?
Just a smile? Is that all?
Is that all, Ida? You should never underestimate your smile. Harry can tell you that. That leads you.
Yes, Eddie is right, Miss Lupino. A lovely smile will get attention every time. And because an attractive smile means so much to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, it certainly pays to take care of your smile. And about the best way I know to do that is between regular visits to your dentist to faithfully use iPana toothpaste and gum massage. Because healthy gums are mighty important to sound teeth and sparkling smiles. And iPana not only cleans and brightens teeth thoroughly, but when used with massage, it is especially designed to help gums to a healthier firmness. So why don't you follow this simple, healthful routine?
Regularly brush your teeth with iPana toothpaste. And every time you do, put a little extra iPana on your brush or fingertip and massage it on your gums.
So, ladies and gentlemen, ask your druggist tomorrow for a tube of iPana toothpaste. And since the government has ruled that we can't buy toothpaste of any kind unless we turn in an empty tube, don't forget to take an empty metal tube of some sort with you when you get your iPana toothpaste.
Eddie?
Yes, Ida?
I really enjoy doing our vaudeville act. Let's team up and do it in a theater.
Oh, no. I didn't want you to take me seriously. You see, it's too old-fashioned. It's corny. Why, no agent would hire our act unless he were an ignorant, lame-brained dope.
How do you do?
Russian. You? You are in the theatrical business?
I'm not in the monkey business. I shall produce a great play. The Fuhrer died at dawn.
Not the Fuhrer. The General died at dawn.
I can dream, can't I?
Oh, stop it. Russian, I want you to meet my partner, Ida Lupino.
Charmed, I'm sure indeed. Allow me to shake you by the ankle.
No. By the hand.
You shake what you like and I'll shake what I like.
Russian, you must recognize Miss Lupino.
Did you see Life Begins at 8:30?
Did I see Life Begins at 8:30? Kiddos, did I see? I was in it.
You was in it?
Yeah.
That's impossible. I was the leading lady.
Hmm.
Are you sure you were in Life Begins at 8:30?
Maybe I left at 7:15.
Russian.
Yes?
Are you certain you can get us on the stage?
Mine dear you. I will book you into my greatest theater, Grauman's Moscow.
Grauman's Moscow?
Yes.
Do you think that we would make a hit there?
I guarantee you'll play to standing room only.
But how can you guarantee standing room only?
No seats.
Oh, you're impossible, Russian. I don't want you as my agent.
Please don't say that. I get a thrill working for you, Miss Lupino.
No. You get a thrill working for Miss Lupino. Why do you say peanuts?
That's what I get working for you.
Keep quiet. Quiet, pay no attention to him. He's no producer. He does this every week. He's an imposter.
Don't say that. Dad, don't say. I come from a theatrical family.
You do?
My poor father was the world's greatest showman.
No.
What happened to him?
He was killed by a weasel.
Little Weasel killed your father?
Yes. You see, one day he was sitting on the railroad tracks.
Yes.
Suddenly a train came along.
Yes.
And he didn't hear the weasel.
No! And he didn't hear the weasel. Ida, you've been a good sport taking all this ribbing, and I do want to thank you for coming here tonight.
No, Eddie, I want to thank you.
No.
Yes, I've learned a great lesson from you tonight, just watching you work.
Well, thank you, Ida.
Yes, Eddie. It's taught me never to be discouraged.
Uh-huh.
Any man who can get as far as you have without talent, without look.
Good night, Ida.
With no personality.
Ida.
With absolutely
Ida, good
nothing.
night. Good night, Ida. Good night. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring you this message. These fine and moving words appeared in a recent issue of Time magazine as an advertisement for the New Haven Railroad entitled, The Kid in Upper Fall. It is 3:42 a.m. on a troop train. Men wrapped in blankets are breathing heavily. 2 in every lower berth, 1 in every upper. This is no ordinary trip. It may be their last in the USA till the end of the war. Tomorrow they will be on the high seas. One is wide awake, listening, staring into the blackness. It is the kid in Upper Fall. Tonight he knows he is leaving behind a lot of little things and big ones. The taste of hamburgers and pop, the feel of driving a roadster over a 6-lane highway, a dog named Shucks or Spot or Barnacle Bill, the pretty girl who writes so often, that gray-haired man so proud and awkward at the station, the mother who knit the socks he'll wear soon. Tonight he's thinking them over. There's a lump in his throat and maybe a tear fills his eye. It doesn't matter, kid. Nobody will see. It's too dark. A couple of 1,000 miles away where he's going, they don't know him very well. But people all over the world are waiting, praying for him to come. And he will come, this kid in Upper Fall, with new hope, peace, and freedom for a tired, bleeding world. Good luck to you, kid in Upper Fall, and all you other kids wherever you are. You've got a big job to do, and we know you're going to do it, so that next Christmas and all the Christmases to come may be white. White with the light of peace on earth and goodwill toward men. Thank you. Thank you for being with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We do hope you'll be back again next week to help us roll out the carpet for our special guest, Lieutenant J.G. Phil Harris of the United States Merchant Marine. We'll also have our regular gang on hand, Dinah Shore, and Harry Von Zell, the Mad Russian, the ambassadors, and little Cookie Fairchild in the orchestra. So remember, I love to spend each Wednesday with you as friend to friend. I'm sorry it's true. I'm telling.
Hello? Yes, miss, that was the Eddie Cantor show you just heard. Sponsored by Bristol Myers, makers of Sal Hepatica, Ipana, Touche. Touche. A new beauty discovery, a hand lotion. No, this lotion is based on a brand new idea, beforehand protection. Beforehand. You see, other lotions are applied after you have had your hands in water. You smooth Touche on before your daily soap and water tasks to protect your hands against the harsh drying effects of hot soapy water. Surely it's grand for smoothing rough elbows and knees, too. That's right, Touche. Toushay. Well, you're more than welcome. Good night.
This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI Los Angeles by transcription. Los Angeles by transcription. Los Angeles by transcription. Los Angeles by transcription.
J-E-L-L. The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra. The orchestra opens the program with I Feel a Song coming on. It's in the air around you. It's written in people's faces. It's anywhere and everywhere. The wonderful excitement that comes with Christmas week. Now, when spirits are high and appetites are keen, Jell-O is the perfect dessert for you to serve. For Jell-O's festive, shining colors, its delicious fresh fruit flavor are right in keeping with the gaiety of the season. So let Jell-O help you celebrate your holidays. Serve it in any one of its 6 delicious flavors. Flavors unusually rich because they come from fresh, ripe fruit. But just remember that there is only one Jell-O, and only Jell-O brings you that extra rich fruit flavor. So make no mistake. Insist on the real thing. Insist on genuine Jell-O. And now we bring you a man who stands for good, wholesome entertainment, who stands for bright, sparkling humor. In fact, a man who stands for almost anything, Jack Benny.
Hello again. This is Standing Jack Benny talking. Listen, Don, I may be easygoing and all that, but there's a limit to just how much I will stand. I think you found that out the past few weeks.
But I've never really seen you blow up, Jack.
Well, that's because I managed to keep myself under control. But if I ever lose my temper, well, I just hope I'm not around when it happens.
Oh, Jack, you haven't such a temper. Why, I've heard you argue with Phil Harris, and you've been as gentle as a lamb.
Yes, Don, but you'll never know the battle that goes on inside of me. How I have to fight to hold myself back.
Well, that's generally a nice, safe quarrel.
Yes.
Jack, I don't want to interfere, but I do think that since Christmas is so near that you and Phil ought to make up.
No, Don. The wound is too deep. You see, you only know me on the surface, but there are really 2 Jack Bennys. There's the patient, amiable, fun-loving fellow you see around the studio. And then there's that other me. Stark, savage, primitive. A throwback to the Stone Age. I tell you, Don, one minute I'm as meek as a mouse, and then all of a sudden I'm Vesuvius erupting.
My.
Well, anyway, I'm through coddling people around here, and that goes for Phil Harris or anybody else. You know, you can go just so far, and then the worm turns.
You're right, Jack.
I'll say I am.
Hello, Worm.
Well, I haven't turned yet. You better watch your step, too, Mary. What I just said about Phil goes for everybody on this program.
I'm not worried about you. I've got my own troubles. You know, I just had an awful fight with myself.
You did?
You may not know it, Jack, but there are two Mary Livingstons.
Oh, there are.
Yes. There's the quiet, home-loving me, who spends her time in the kitchen.
I see.
And then there's the other me, wild, reckless, with a yen for caviar and cheap jewelry.
Oh, so you've got a dual personality, too?
Have I? I'm a regular Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde.
Well, say, Don, did Phil get here yet?
Oh, yes, Jack. He's right on time tonight.
He must have read my thoughts last week. Believe me, it's good to put your foot down once in a while.
Hello, Mary. Hello, Jack.
Hello, Kenny. Say, what kind of a hello was that?
That was my other self talking.
Hey, Don, look who's got another self.
Oh, yeah? I've got two me's, too.
Oh, you have, huh?
Sure. There's one me that you all know around the studio, good-natured, dumb, and unconscious.
Oh.
And then there's the real me, smart, bright, and witty.
Why don't you bring him around sometime?
Oh, Mary, leave him alone.
That guy don't know enough to come in out of the rain.
He does, too.
Come in where?
Forget it, Kenny. It doesn't rain in California anyway.
It doesn't?
No.
Then what keeps falling out of the sky? Orange juice?
Well, maybe the weather has a dual personality, too. You know, there are two sides to everything and everyone. Don't you think so, Don?
Positively. And now that you brought it up, you know, Jack, you may not believe this, but there are really two Don Wilsons.
Oh, I can see that, Don. But a little dieting will take care of that, you know.
Oh, you're laughing at my expanse.
No, I'm serious.
But all kidding aside, I too have another self.
Oh.
There's the quiet, retiring me who just says, Jell-O is the fastest-selling gelatin dessert in the world, and every day millions of people eat it.
I see.
And then there's that other me that says the Jell-O has 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime.
Why, Don, you frightened me.
Oh,
quit, playboy. Don, go back to your other sweet self. That was You Can Tell She Comes from Dixie, conducted by Phil Harris, who also has a dual personality. By that I mean he's a two-timer. You know, during every number, he waves one hand at the orchestra and the other at the girls in the audience. And it's got to stop.
All right, I'll quit waving at the orchestra.
Well, at least that'll help the music. Or you've even poisoned the boys in the band against me.
I have not.
You haven't? Then why don't they laugh at my joke?
Why don't you say something funny?
I don't want to establish a precedent around here, that's why.
That's awfully good. Laugh at him, boys.
Well, at least they were together. That's more than I can say about their music. Zowie!
What happened?
Jack thought he said something funny.
It's a fine bunch I'm associated with.
What's the matter with you, Jack? Every year you pick a fight with us.
Well, what about it?
Last year it was just before Christmas, too.
Well, I like to do my Christmas scrapping early.
Jack, why don't you consider my suggestion and make up with Phil? How about it, Phil?
Well, I'm willing if that horseless cowboy is. Yeah? Well, I'm not a horseless cowboy.
No, you're a brainless master of ceremonies.
Oh, yeah? That means fight in my country. I wish we were there.
Gee, a little geography saves Jack a lot of trouble.
Yeah. There'd be a lot of trouble right now if it wasn't that Kenny has to sing his songs.
I can wait, Jack.
You'll sing when you're supposed to, not when you're ready.
Oh, this thing's getting worse and worse. Come on, Jack. Now make up with Phil. What do you say?
No, Don. I realize this is the time of year when we must forgive and forget. But even this holiday spirit cannot erase the scar that has been etched into my heart.
Oh, Jack, you're making a scar out of a molehill.
No, I'm not. Did you ever hear that famous poem by Ludwig Schmutz?
Change authors
that
tonight.
Poem called Bear It With a Grin?
No.
Well, it goes something like this. When your soul is torn asunder by some fellow's thoughtless blunder, and you're troubled deep down under, bear it with a grin. When he makes your life so dreary, and your eyes with tears are bleary, and you're oh so gosh darn weary, ha ha, bear it with a grin.
Manny.
So if your false friend should forsake you, and a fool he tries to make you, point at him and say, you snake, you. And
Let's say it with a groan.
Thank you. Well, I guess you know how I feel about it now, Don. Sing, Kenny.
And my poems are supposed to be bad.
So jealous of the moon, jealous of a summer night in June. Why can they remain beside my darling while I must leave so soon? Summer night, starry sky, you can see my sweetheart with 1,000 eyes. Why have I only two to behold 1,000 charms I idolize? Summer night, you are right to come in her window when the day is through. She tells you all her thoughts. Won't you tell me whom she loves? Summer night, oh how I wish I knew.
That was Summer Night, sung by Kenny Baker. And tonight it seemed to have an extra touch of tenderness. But there's one thing that puzzles me, Kenny. how can you say so many dumb things and yet sing so sweetly?
Well, I don't have to think when I sing.
Oh. See,
I'll bet he's got a record in his mouth.
I doubt it.
Oh, Jack.
Yes, Don.
I don't want to interrupt the program, but I may not get to see you again until after Christmas.
That's right.
Well, come to the point, Jack. Mary, Kenny, and I got together and bought you a little Christmas present, which I hope you'll like.
Well, thanks, Don. And Mary. You too, Kenny.
Oh, you're welcome. Here you are, Jack.
Gee, I imagine it's something awfully nice. Well. Gee, this is a surprise. A gold button hook.
Uh-huh.
Say, that'll come in handy. Of course, I haven't worn button shoes in a long time, but if they ever come back, boy, I'll be all set.
Well, I'm glad you like it, Jack.
It's a beautiful button hook. And gold, too.
Yeah, and there's a toothpick on one end.
Oh, there sure is. Well.
If teeth ever come back, you'll be all set.
Well, thanks, kids. I sure appreciate this. Gee, you must have gone back 20 years to get it.
Oh, it wasn't any trouble, Jack.
No, I imagine it wasn't. Now, gather around, everybody. It's my turn to play Santa Claus. I got a little surprise for most all of you. Here's a little gift for you, Kenny. A beautiful red silk necktie.
Oh, thanks, Jack.
Isn't it pretty?
Gee. You know, this looks like the same tie I gave you last year.
Well, it isn't. It's different.
Yeah, it's got spots on it now.
Quiet. He can have it cleaned. And, Don, here's a present for you. It's something I know you love.
What is it?
A box of genuine Jell-O.
Oh, goody!
Yeah, I knew
You know,
he'd love it.
my wife's going to give me a sliced pineapple for Christmas, and they'll go swell together.
Oh, they sure will.
Oh, Jack.
What?
Where's the present I'm going to exchange?
Here, and don't be funny. Change.
What is it?
What is it? Can't you see? It's an earring.
An earring?
Yeah.
One earring? Where's the other one?
Well, there'll be other Christmases, won't there?
This is a fine present. Now I'll be lopsided.
Yeah. Put it on, Mary. That's a style now anyway. One earring.
Jack, didn't you forget somebody?
Not anybody that didn't forget me. But to show you the difference in characters, come here, Mary. Here's a present for him. You give it to him.
Okay. Here, Phil. Jack told me to give you this Christmas present.
What is it? It's a curling iron.
A curling iron?
Yes.
Thanks, only my hair is naturally curly.
Well, if it ever straightens out, you'll be all set. And incidentally, it's time for your next number, so stop grinning at the girls in the audience and play.
All right, Simon.
Yeah, now wait a minute. I may be exacting, but I'm no Simon Legree.
I meant Simple Simon.
Oh. Now I'm stumped. Well, go ahead and play a number, smarty pants. Say, Mary, how do you like that earring I gave you?
Fine. My ear's turning green already.
Some Christmas spirit around here.
Some present, too.
Yeah. That was Mutiny in the Brass Section, played by Curly Harris, the kink of jazz. And incidentally, folks, not that I care, but evidently Mr. Harris has never heard that it's better to give than to receive. Imagine a guy not reciprocating after you've given him a swell curling iron.
Swell? It isn't even electric.
I suppose you like Benjamin Franklin to autograph it. What a guy. And now, folks, this being our last program before Christmas...
That's me, Footsie.
Oh, well, come in.
Hello, Dick Barney.
Hello, Patsy. Hey, it's good to see you again. How'd you happen to drop in?
Well, it's the holiday season, and I'm bringing Yuletime greetings.
Well, thanks. What are you doing these days, Patsy?
Can you read Hengel?
Hengel? Of course I can read English.
Then here's my card.
Patsy Flick. Suit, clothes, and Merry Christmas. So you're in the clothing business now, huh?
Yes, sir. And Jake, to start a ball rolling, I brought you a Christmas present.
Well, that's very nice of you, Patsy, but you didn't have to do it.
Don't mention it, cutie. I'm sentimental.
Oh, look at this, a brand new suit. Is it really a present for me?
It's not from Marlene Dietrich.
Well, it sure is a nice gesture. Hey, wait a minute. There's only the pants and vest here. Where's the coat?
That'll cost you $75.
I see. Well, I don't need a new suit.
You don't need a suit. Look at that coat you're wearing.
What's wrong with it?
Potatoes I wouldn't put in that bag.
Oh, you wouldn't, eh?
And look at the cheap material. You call this a pocket? See?
Hey, wait a minute.
Hold on there. What are you doing to Jack?
Don't interrupt the sale.
Say, you've got a lot of nerve.
And look at this sleeve. Now, is that a coat, I ask you?
Not now, it isn't. No.
And look at those pants.
Shall I leave the room, Jack?
No, this is going far enough. Here, take back your pants and vest and get out of here.
Well, that chiseler. You give a guy a present and he don't even reciprocate.
Well, goodbye and Happy New Year.
Who needs it? Hey!
Look at my coat all ripped and torn. I got a date with a doll right after the program. Now, what are you laughing at?
If it's a rag doll, you're all set.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, this being our last program before Christmas, tonight we are going... What's that? Hello, Buck. Well, Sheriff Andy Devine. Glad to see you, Andy.
Oh, glad to see you too, Buck.
What brings you here tonight?
Well, ain't you and me going out looking for Cactus Face Elmer, the outlaw?
Doggone it, Andy. We got to arguing and talking up here tonight and giving out presents. I'm afraid we won't be able to do Buck Benny Rides again until next Sunday.
Oh, shucks. Yeah. And I'm all dressed up in my cowboy suit.
Well, don't take it so hard. Come over next Sunday and you can play with us. Sorry you had to make this long trip, Andy.
Well, I didn't mind coming over. I'm kind of stuck on Mary, you know.
Stop blushing, Andy.
I ain't blushing. I'm boiling.
Well, Andy, I'm sorry about Buck Benny. I really am. Huh?
Well, and I'm sure disappointed, too.
I know how you feel.
Well, doggone it. But you know, Buck, that reminds me of a poem by Ludwig Schmutz.
Good old Schmutzy. Yeah, good old Schmutzy. By Ludwig, huh?
Yes, sir, and it goes something like this. When you're just a buckaroo and Buck Benny you cannot do, don't feel bad and don't feel blue. Just bear it with a grin.
Ah, those are real sentiments, Andy. Ludwig sure went to town on that one, huh?
Well, so long, Buck. See you next week.
So long, Andy.
So long.
He sure has a lot of fun, doesn't he, huh? Well, I got to run along now, fellas. The program is nearly over anyway. I don't think you need me here any longer tonight, and besides, I've got a date, so I'm going to go. Goodbye, Mary.
Goodbye, Jack, and a Merry Christmas.
Same to you. So long, Don. Goodbye, Kenny.
Merry Christmas, Jack.
Same to you. Well, so long. Hey, Jack. Yeah? Merry Christmas to you. Same to you, Phil. Goodbye. Wait a minute, Jack. I want to talk to you. Well, hurry up. I've got a date. Listen, Jack, I think we've both been acting like a couple of kids. But I want to tell you one thing, and it comes right from my heart. I've been with you 12 weeks now, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. You wouldn't know it. Of course, sometimes you've tried to act hard-boiled, but deep down underneath, you're a regular guy. Oh, I am I? Well, I'm going. Wait a minute, Jack. Just to show you how I feel about you, here's a little Christmas present. Thanks.
Well, why don't you open it?
Oh, you open it. It's probably some trick. Gee, I hope you like it, Jack. Oh, I already said thanks.
Gee, look, fellas.
Gosh, gee whiz.
Oh, Jack, look. Why, it's the most beautiful watch I've ever seen.
I've got a watch.
And look at that platinum case and diamonds all around it.
I thought so. If I wear that, somebody will hold me up and hit me over the head.
Oh, gee, it's beautiful, Phil.
Oh, it certainly is.
Oh, Jack, that's really something.
See, it is pretty, isn't it? Gee, platinum and diamonds all around it. Gee, thanks, Phil. You're welcome, Jack. Oh, boy, that is gorgeous. Huh? Well, Phil, I hardly know what to say now. I feel so... Oh, I don't know. Oh, forget about it, Jack. Gee, I wish I'd have bought you an electric iron now. Boy, I'll bet this must have set you back plenty, huh, Phil? Well, just don't fire me for about 2 years. Well, Phil, all I can say is I'm terribly sorry for everything that happened, and see if I can ever do anything for you. And if you ever want to know what time it is, don't hesitate to ask me. I don't value anything, Jack, as much as I do your friendship. Gee, I didn't know you felt that way. See, but all I can say is, well, thanks, Phil. Oh, you're welcome, Jack. Merry Christmas.
Come on, fellas, come on, pull yourselves together. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you could all be here to witness this touching display of friendship. In fact, I personally am so moved that I can hardly say that Jell-O is the most tempting gelatin dessert in the world.
So just be sure to get the genuine Jell-O with the big red letters on the back.
Is there a Santa Claus? You bet your life there is, and you'll be more certain of it than ever once you taste Jell-O chocolate pudding. It's the best that comes your way since the old days when your grandmother made chocolate pudding. Smoother, creamier, more chocolatey with a grand homemade flavor. That's Jell-O chocolate pudding. And it's amazingly easy and inexpensive to make. Here's all you do. Mix the contents of one package with some milk in the top of your cool, and this delicious pudding is all ready to be served in your sherbet glasses. And if you want to give it an extra special Christmas touch, add some raisins or toasted nuts or both. You'll get 6 luscious servings from each package of Jell-O chocolate pudding, which sells for the same low price as Jell-O. Ask your grocer about it tomorrow. If he hasn't put it in stock yet, be sure he orders it for you. Remember the name, Jell-O chocolate pudding.
This is the last number of the 12th program in the new Jell-O series, and we'll be with you again next Sunday night at the same time when you will hear our next installment of Buck Benny Rides Again. Well, fellas, I was going out on a party tonight, but I'd much rather be with a gang. Come on, let's all go out and make whoopee.
Okay.
How about you, Phil?
Thanks, Jack, but I've already got a date tonight.
Oh, bring her along. And if she's got a girlfriend, bring her along for me.
She has, Jack, but her girlfriend isn't very pretty.
Oh, I don't care. Filthy, as long as I'm with you.
And Phil don't care as long as he's with a girl.
Good night, folks, and Merry Christmas.
Jell.
The tune, Here's Love in Your Eyes, from the big broadcast of 1937. Summer Night is from Sing Me a Love Song. The Jell-O program comes to you over the Red Network from the Hollywood studios of the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI, Los Angeles, Earl C. Anthony, Incorporated. 15 seconds before 9.
Jell.
The Jell-O program, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra. The orchestra opens the program with Life Begins at Sweet 16 from Scandals. On one of our recent programs, we said the Jell-O was delicious, served perfectly plain. Well, it seems that one of our listeners objected to that, for she wrote in and said, "There's no such thing as plain Jell-O. The shimmering mold of Jell-O in any one of those 6 beautiful colors just simply can't be plain." Well, of course, she's right about that, but what we meant was this. You don't have to add anything to Jell-O to make it delicious. You can serve it without any special dressing up, and you'll have a grand dessert every time. For Jell-O brings you delicious extra-rich fruit flavor that rivals the flavor of the fresh, ripe fruit itself. But whether you serve Jell-O plain or with fruits, nuts, or whipped cream, you'll always find it makes a grand dessert. So insist on genuine Jell-O. Don't accept any substitutes. For there's only one Jell-O, and only Jell-O brings you that special extra-rich flavor. Look for the big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O. That was Life Begins at Sweet 16 from Scandals. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you that all-around swell guy, a man I'm proud to call my friend, one of the sweetest fellows that I've ever been associated with, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Well, Jell-O again. This is Sugar Benny talking. And, Don, tell me, what happened? My goodness, what's come over you?
Oh, nothing, Jack, but after 3 years of working together so harmoniously, I feel that you deserve such a tribute from me.
Oh, I see, Don. It took you 3 years to get that old feeling. Are you sure you had no other reason for that lovely eulogy? I mean, no ulterior motive?
Oh, no, Jack. I've always been very fond of you and regard you as a real pal.
Oh, then the fact that there are only 12 more shopping days till Christmas had nothing to do with it? Huh?
Absolutely not. I like you whether you buy me a gold cigarette case with my monogram on it or not.
Then you weren't hinting or anything?
No, Jack, I swear it on a box of Jell-O.
What flavor?
Raspberry.
I thought so. I knew there was a reason for those sugary sentiments. Oh, hiya, Phil.
Hello, Jack, old boy. Glad to see you, baby.
Baby? He likes me, too. You know, folks, it's funny how the Yuletide season can put wings on a rat. So you're glad to see me, huh?
Yes, Jack, and I never saw you looking better. Boy, you look like $1 million.
Oh, I do, huh? Well, I'm not going to spend any of it, so don't be so complimentary. You and Don have become great fans of mine all of a sudden.
Jack, I always thought you were a great guy and a very talented artist.
Then why didn't you tell me?
What for? You know it.
Oh, that's right.
And furthermore, that compliment I paid you had nothing to do with the Christmas present.
That's a lie.
It is not.
Then take an oath.
All right. May I almost drop dead if I'm lying.
That's fine, Phil. I'm going to nearly give you a present.
Well, practically, thanks.
Let me tell you something, Phil. The way you've been acting this past year and your general attitude toward me, I wouldn't spend over 50 cents on a gift for you.
You wouldn't spend over 50 cents on New Year's Eve.
Why, I would, too.
You'd have to get cockeyed first.
Well, a little anesthetic helps. Anyway, I'm too smart to be fooled by you guys, you and your false compliments. Yeah.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Da-da-dum,
Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, honey bunch.
Honey bunch. Well, I suppose I'm a swell guy. You're glad to see me, and I look like $1 million.
You took the words right out of my hint.
Oh, I see. Why don't you ask me for a kiss now? Go ahead. It's near Christmas. You ask me for a kiss, and I'll turn you down so fast it'll make your head swim.
That's more than your kiss would do.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not so bad. How about the other night in the Trocadero when the lights went out?
Was that you?
Yes.
Then I apologize.
Oh, you apologize. Well, you wouldn't any other time. Why is it that you and Phil and Don are always so sweet to me right before Christmas and so nasty the day after?
Look at the present you give us.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Spend a fortune on gifts for this bunch?
No, but you're not supposed to win them on a punch board.
A punch board?
Yes.
Say, if I can pick up a star sapphire for $25, I'm going to do it. Anyway, I like a little action when I spend money. I like to gamble.
You like to gamble.
You know I do. Didn't I try to make a bet with you on the Rose Bowl game?
I'll say you tried.
Well, why didn't you take him up, Phil?
He only wanted California and 87 points.
I did not. Mary was standing right there with me in front of the Brown Derby when I suggested the bet. What did I say, Mary?
I don't know. I was flirting with a sailor.
It's a fine thing, a girl like you standing on the street flirting with a sailor. You didn't even know his name.
I did, too.
What was it?
SS Wyoming.
Oh, well, you must have seen it someplace. Anyway, Phil, if you still want that bet, you can have it.
Go on, I only bet with gamblers.
Oh, I suppose I'm not. Well, around O'Farrell's pool room in Waukegan, I was known as Nick the Greek. Yes, sir.
Is that true, Jack?
Why, Don, I used to bet 10, 15 cents on the turn of a card. And if I lost, ishkabibble. You can't help yourself, Don. I'm a gambler, and it's in my blood.
Some gambler. He plays a slot machine with an axe.
I do, huh? To hear this gang talk, you think I was a regular miser. I'm not afraid to part with my money.
Then why do you keep a police dog in your pocketbook?
A police dog? Now, that's just trying to be funny, that's all. I'll show you. Now, look, folks, here's my pocketbook. You can see for yourself. Is there a police dog in it? I've been trained for the low, underhanded trick. Play, Phil. Now, come clean, Mary. Did you have anything to do with this?
Well, very nice. That was Dipsy Doodle, played by Phil Harris and his orc.
Orc?
Yes, we've got a long program tonight, Mary, so I'm abbreviating. Anyway, it was very good, Phil. I thought that number was terrific. Really, coloss.
Thanks, Jack. I appreciate that.
That's the idea, Phil. You saved us half a sec there. Didn't he, Mary?
Oh, but death.
Well, Livy, that's co-oping.
Jack, is our program really so long tonight?
I'm afraid it is, Don.
I see. Ladies and gents, when you're out shopping for an econom dessert, go to your Nabe Gross and consider Jell-O.
Very good, Don. Very good.
It comes in 6 delish flavors: straw, rasp, cher, or lemon lum.
Lum?
He forgot Abner.
Quiet. So remember, folks, none is gin without the big red lets on the B.
That was swell, Don. Let's give him a hand, fellas. That's enough. That's enough. Well, we must have saved about an hour and a half there. And now, folks, for our feature attraction of the evening and dramatic highlight, Kenny Baker will walk in late as usual.
I'm not late. I was sitting here all the time.
You were? Then why didn't you speak up?
Because I didn't feel like it, that's why.
What's the matter with you, Kenny? You're still fighting with your girl?
Yes. Darn that love life of mine.
Well, it's interfering with your work, and I won't put up with it. Now what happened?
Oh, I went over to her house last night, and when I got there, I found another fellow sitting on the sofa with her. And she said it was her brother.
Well?
And she was kissing him.
Well, that's no crime. A girl can kiss her brother, can't she?
Not like that.
Well, Kenny, she's got another fella. Maybe your technique is wrong. Don't you ever bring her a present or anything?
Oh, sure. Every time I go to see her, I bring a package of gum. I give her 2 sticks, and I take 2 sticks.
Then what?
We chew like the dickens.
Well, that must be exciting.
I'll bet when the flavor's gone, he goes home.
Yeah. Imagine them sitting there, each chewing 2 sticks of gum. What happens to the extra stick, Kenny?
The other guy gets that.
Well, you're too generous. I'll tell you what you do, Kenny. Why don't you buy her a nice gift for Christmas, you know? Something she can use, like perfume or stockings.
Stockings?
Yeah.
Gee, I'd be ashamed to ask for those.
Oh.
If you're afraid, Kenny, I'll buy them for you.
No, I'll buy them. It might be a thrill.
Sure it will, Kenny. You'll get a kick out of it. And now, folks, now that Kenny feels better, he's going to sing one of the... Pardon me, come in.
Special delivery for Jake Benny.
Right here, boy, and my name is Jack.
Glad to know you. Mine's Harry.
Harry, that's a fine name with that bald head of yours.
You should see my chest.
Well, button your shirt and give me that letter.
Here you are. Goodbye.
Who's the letter from, Jack?
Wait a minute. It's from, Hey, Mary, this letter's for you. It came in care of me.
Let's have it. Oh, Jack, it's from my mother.
You haven't opened it yet. How do you know?
She makes her own postage stamps.
Oh. Well, let's hear what the old comedian has to say.
Read it, Mary. I think your mother's a riot.
Yeah, go ahead. We haven't got all night.
Okay. Plainfield, New Jersey, December 10th. My dear daughter, Mary, I haven't written you in some time as I've been busy preparing for the holidays. I received your letter and thanks very much for the check. It would have come in handy, but the landlord grabbed it on the first bounce.
Well,
right now, we're having a siege of 0 weather here in Plainfield. It has been so cold the last 2 weeks, your father hasn't taken a bath since June.
June? My.
Last Monday was the coldest day of the year. It was so bad we had to milk the cow with an ice pick.
Boy, that is cold.
Your Uncle Julius...
What is it, Mary?
Oh, Jack, this is a scream.
What?
Your Uncle Julius was showing off yesterday.
Well, go on, Mary. Read it.
Your Uncle Julius was showing off yesterday and went outdoors without his earmuffs.
Yes.
So today he's going out without his ears.
Well, it serves him right.
This caused a lot of trouble, as now we have to glue his glasses on.
I bet he looks funny at that, huh?
Your cousin Otto was visiting us over the holidays, and he still walks in his sleep. So for Christmas, we are giving him pajamas with a cane to match.
Oh, well, that was thoughtful, I think.
Tell Jack we bought him a beautiful Christmas present, too.
Well.
We are sending it COD, as Jack always likes to know what things cost.
I hope it's something cheap.
Must close now, so Merry Christmas to you, Don, Phil, Kenny, and Nick the Greek. As usual, your mother.
As usual. Well, that was all right, Mama. Still up to par there. No?
Oh, say, Jack.
Yes, Don?
It's getting rather late now. What kind of a play are we going to do tonight?
Oh, we won't have time for that, Don. Besides, I've got to get all my Christmas shopping done. I've been putting it off, and today I'm going to do it.
There goes $8.
And I wish that was all. Don, announce Kenny's song and give him a good build-up, will you?
Sure, I'll handle it.
Can I go with you, Jack? I got a lot of shopping to do, too.
Okay, come along, Mary. So long, fellas.
Goodbye, everybody.
Are you ready for your song, Kenny?
All set.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Baker, the tenor of the Jell-O Show, will sing Am I in Love from Mr. Dodd Takes the Air, accompanied by Phil Harris and his Jell-O Orchestra, which comes to you through the courtesy of Jell-O. Boy, what a break. Sing it, Kenny.
Tell me why my temples tingle every time we meet. My heart goes pitter-patter, then seems to miss a beat. I've been writing and reciting poetry all day. What can it be? If you ask me, I really couldn't say. Am I in love? Am I the victim of the thing that makes a tiger tender as a dove? There must be something wrong with me, I know, for I'm behaving like a raving Romeo. Am I in love? Am I the victim of the magic of the moonlight and a million stars above? Am I in love? I only wish I knew. But if I am, then I'm in love with you.
That was Am I in Love, sung by Kenny Baker. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we take you to one of Hollywood's biggest department stores, where we find...
Gee, this store is crowded. Everybody pushing and shoving. Here, give me your hand, Mary.
Let go of me. My name's Tilly.
Oh, pardon me, lady. Mary, where are you?
Over here in men's garters.
Well, take them off and stick to me. Now, let's see, what's first on my list? 4 shirts, 6 handkerchiefs, 3 pair of socks, 2 hand towels. Oh, darn it, this is my laundry list. I sent some stuff out this morning.
I thought you did your own.
I was too busy this week.
Oh.
Anyway, I know what I want. Now, let me see. First, I want to get a little gold-plated keychain for Phil.
Yeah, there's something he doesn't need.
He does, too. He always carries a lot of keys in his pockets.
That guy knows more doors.
Yeah.
Here's the counter right over here.
Oh, yes. Pardon me, sir. I'd like to buy a chain.
Dog, watch, or Daisy?
Look, and I want a keychain, you know, for keys.
How about a nice fountain pen?
I don't want a fountain pen. I want a chain.
How can you write a letter with a chain?
Now, look, young man, I don't want to write a letter.
Oh, you don't, eh?
No.
Guys like you that cause all the trouble in this country.
What trouble? Now, wait a minute. Do you want to sell me a chain or not?
I wouldn't sell you a chain if you were an elk's tooth.
Oh, come on, Mary. Let's go.
Why don't you take the fountain pen, Jack? Phil could lead the orchestra with it.
All right. How much is that fountain pen?
$4.
All right, here you are. Wrap it up, and I haven't got all day.
Okay.
Fresh guy. Hey, what's the idea of wrapping that pen in a blotter?
It leaks a little.
$4 for a leaky pen. I ought to have you fired.
You can't do it.
Why not?
I don't work here.
It's a fine store.
Let's go to the toy department, Jack. I want to get some dolls for a couple of kids I know.
Yeah, I wonder where it is. Wait here, Mary. I'll ask the floor walker. Pardon me, sir. Could you direct me to the toy department?
The toy department? Yes. You take the elevator
Where's
and...
the perfume counter, please?
2 aisles to the right, madame, and straight ahead. Now, what was it you wanted?
The toy department.
Oh, please. Yes, the toy department. You take the elevator...
Excuse me, where do I get Christmas cards?
3rd floor, center aisle.
Thank you.
Now, let's see, you wanted...
The toy department, please.
Oh, yes, excuse me. You take the elevator...
Oh, floor walker, have you seen my little boy?
Madam, I've seen thousands of little boys.
Well, that's not the one. Goodbye.
Now, look, mister...
Oh, pardon me, you wanted lampshades, didn't you?
No, I wanted toys. The toy department.
Oh, of course. Now, you take the elevator...
I've taken it 3 times already. My goodness.
Well, don't get huffy about it.
I'm not getting huffy, and I don't want any back talk. Got a good mind to report you. What's your name?
Woo-Woo Smith.
Oh.
Hey, Jack, I found out where it is. It's on the 4th floor.
Okay, Mary, let's take the elevator. Now, stay close to me.
Oh, Jack, look. There's
What?
Kenny over by the ladies' hosiery counter.
Oh, he finally did it. Where? Oh, yeah.
Look at him blushing.
Let's sneak over, huh?
Now, young man, for the 10th time, what do you want?
Well, Oh, you laugh.
Oh, come on now, please. I'm very busy.
All right, I want a pair of stockings.
What kind?
For legs.
Hello, Kenny.
Oh, hello, Jack. Boy, what I've just gone through.
Well, come along with us. We're going up to the toy department. You can get the stockings later.
Okay.
Here's the elevator, Jack.
Yeah.
Going up. Watch your step, please.
Let's get in quick. It's awfully crowded here.
Hey, you stop pushing.
I'm not pushing, lady. I'm just trying to get in the elevator.
Well, you don't have to get rough about it, you communist.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's all you can expect from a guy that drives a Maxwell.
I'll ignore that. Oh, Kenny. Kenny. Hey, Mary, we lost Kenny.
We did not. I'm standing on him.
Standing on him?
Yeah.
Going up. Hang on to your hats.
Darn store I have.
2nd floor. Flat iron, sofa pillows, submarines, aspirin tablets, and horseradish. Going up.
Say, boy, this elevator's awfully crowded, isn't
You
it?
should see it on bank night.
It sure is packed.
Breathe in, Jack, so I can breathe out.
Quiet.
3rd floor. Stuffed furniture, stuffed owls, stuffed celery, and stuffed.
Stuff?
Next stop, Albuquerque.
What is this, a train?
I think so. I got a cinder in my eye.
That's my heel.
4th floor. Darning needles, knitting needles, hypodermic needles, and Needles, California.
Aren't the toys on this floor?
It must be. This is the end of the line.
Come on, Mary and Kenny.
Going down, all aboard.
Mary, get away from those tracks. Now, let's see. Where are the toys?
There's the floor walker. Ask him.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me, sir. Where's the doll department?
The doll department?
Yes.
You won't tell anybody, will you?
No. You can trust me.
It's the 3rd aisle to the left, center section. Look for the lady in black.
Gee, everybody's nuts around here. I know.
Can I help you, sir?
Yes, ma'am. We're looking for something in dolls.
Oh, we have a lovely assortment. Now, here's an original Shirley Temple doll. Oh, gee, that's cute, Jack.
Yeah.
When you lay it down, here's what happens.
Mama!
Oh, isn't that marvelous?
Oh, she says the same thing every time.
What do you want from a doll? The Gettysburg Address? That isn't what I want anyway.
Look, Jack, here's a nice one. Popeye the Sailor.
That's Popeye.
If you're looking for a novelty, here's something brand new this year. An Andy Devine doll.
An Andy Devine doll? Gee, Mary, it does look like Andy. Curly hair, big smile.
Baggy pants and everything.
Yeah. How does it work, miss?
Well, you wind it up like this and he talks. Listen.
Hiya, Buck, hiya, Buck, hiya, Buck, hiya, Buck.
Oh, isn't he cute, Mary?
Oh, he's awesome.
Hiya, Buck, hiya, Buck.
Oh, it's all run down. Wind it up again, Mary.
Woo-hoo-hoo, that tickles.
Hey, Kenny, have you seen this doll? It talks.
It does?
Yeah.
Hiya, Buck, hiya, Buck, hiya, Buck. Hiya, Buck.
Hello, Andy.
Hiya, Kenny, hiya, Kenny, hiya, Kenny, hiya, Kenny, blah.
Well, that's the most marvelous thing I've ever seen. I'll take this one, miss.
Oh, Jack, look at Santa Claus over there sitting in that sleigh.
She's all dressed up in red.
Let's go over and see him. He looks so fat and jolly. Come on, we'll talk to him, huh?
Oh, this ought to be fun.
Gee, I'm scared.
Funny, I feel just like a kid again.
Go ahead, talk to him, Jack.
Oh, I don't want. He might ask me if I've been a good boy.
Go on, Jack.
All right. Hello, Santa Claus.
Hello, stranger.
Hey, Schlepperman.
Quiet, I'm Kris Kringle now.
Well, tell me, Schlep, how do you happen to be Santa Claus?
I don't know. I came in here to buy a suit, and they sold me a red one.
Well, Schlep, it is kind of loud there.
I feel like a stoplight. Well, Mary, tell Santa Claus. What do you want for Christmas, eh?
Can you put a mink coat in my stocking?
Why, certainly.
Boy, you are Santa Claus.
So am I, and you know it. Kenny, tell Santa Claus what you want.
Oh, I'm too big for that stuff.
Speak up, Kenny boy. What would you like to find in your stockings Christmas morning?
Me. My feet are cold.
Oh, you're too practical there.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Hello, little boy.
Look, Santa Claus is my papa.
He is?
Sure. Hey, Santa Claus, ain't you my papa?
Go home, Pincus. You're spoiling the illusion.
So that's your little boy. Well, tell me, Schlep, what does your wife think of you being Santa Claus?
My, Jackie, she's overdoing it. Every night when I come home for supper, she feeds me reindeer.
Reindeer for supper? How do you like it?
Fine, but the horns give me indigestion.
Well, we got to be running along. Say goodbye to Santa Claus.
Goodbye, Sandy.
Goodbye, kiddies.
Hey, Schlep, when am I going to see you again?
Well, I'll tell you, Jack. I'll be coming down your chimney when I come. I'll be coming down your chimney when I come.
You'll be coming down my chimney.
He'll be coming down your chimney.
I'll be coming down when smoke gets in my eyes.
He'll be coming down the chimney when he...
Can't you hear me calling when the snow is gently falling?
He'll be coming down the chimney when you...
I would like a cup of tea with a banjo on my knee.
He'll be coming down the chimney. He'll be coming down the chimney.
I'll be coming down the chimney when I... Chimney, 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 chimney. Figaro, 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 Figaro! Ha, 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 ha,
Well, we'll be waiting, Santa Claus. Let's go home, kiddies.
This is the time of the year when all the family will soon be home, and here's a grand dessert that all the family will love. The name of it is Apple Lime Whip, and you like it especially because it's delicious fruit dessert that's always seasonal. Here's how you make it. Dissolve 1 package of lime jello in a pint of hot water. Chill until cold and syrupy. Then place in a bowl of cracked ice and whip with a rotary egg beater until it's deliciously fluffy. Fold in 1 cup of applesauce and turn into a mold. When it's chilled firm and ready to serve, you'll be delighted with Apple Lime Whip. For whipped lime jello has a grand and luscious color, a lovely creamy green, and molded with applesauce, it makes a wonderful flavor combination. Smooth, rich, and delicious. Try this brand new dessert tomorrow, but just be sure you make it with the one and only genuine Jell-O.
We're a little late, so good night, folks.
Benny Baker appears on the Jell-O program through the courtesy of Mervyn LeRoy Productions. The melody, I'm in My Glory, is from the score of the picture Merry-Go-Round of 1938. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
J-E-L-L-O.
The Jell-O program, coming to you from Radio City, New York, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Hooray for Hollywood. It hardly seems possible, but it's true. Only 12 more shopping days till Christmas. 12 crowded days that will go by like the wind with so little time for planning or preparing your daily menus. Well, here's a helpful hint. Stock up on Jell-O tomorrow, for with Jell-O on your pantry shelf, you can win that race with the old clock. Jell-O dissolves instantly, sets quickly, and offers you dozens of delicious desserts prepared in next to no time. It tastes just grand served perfectly plain in any of those 6 delicious flavors. Or you can dress it up with different canned fruits for a touch of quick and easy variety. Just be sure to get genuine Jell-O when you buy, for Jell-O brings you that delicious, extra-rich fruit flavor, a rich, full-flavored goodness that simply can't be topped. So for ease, speed, and swell things to eat, ask your grocer for Jell-O. Played by the orchestra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you a man who came to New York in the middle of winter without an overcoat and still hasn't bought one, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny, the holdout, talking. And, Don, I wish you'd stop harping about an overcoat. I told you last week I don't need one.
I know, Jack, but it's dangerous to walk the streets this kind of weather without a coat. After all, this is winter.
Don, believe me, cold weather doesn't bother me. I'm just naturally rugged. Well, I was the first fellow in Waukegan to ever get a haircut in the middle of December. I can take it.
Well, that may be so, Jack, but I still think that you're not dressed warm enough.
Why, Don, it hasn't been so cold this week. As a matter of fact, it's been raining most of the time.
Then why don't you buy a raincoat?
Listen, Don, are you selling clothing or Jell-O?
Jell-O.
Then stick to it or I'll fatten up Graham McNamee for your job. Now, let's drop it.
Well, I think Don's right, Jack. You look silly walking down the street dressed the way you are.
Oh, I do, huh?
Yeah, why, for $60 you can get a beautiful overcoat with patch.
Didn't notice it. Well, look at them now. Look at those 3 violinists in the front row. You'd think Congress had just passed a law against borscht. You know, Don, I can't understand why Phil had a... Oh, now they laugh. The reason they're laughing now, borscht is the first word they understood. You know, Don, I can't understand why Phil had to pick out an orchestra that works for Fred Allen.
Now, wait a minute, Jack. Maybe they're worried about something. Maybe they're serious musicians.
Serious? Last Wednesday night, all Allen said was, hello, Porty, and those guys went into hysterics.
Well, maybe they jumped their cue.
You nearly jumped yours.
Yes.
That's probably what happened. Now, you know, I don't mind Allen telling them when to laugh and applaud. But when he throws lighted matches around to get them to stamp their feet, that's going too far. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Applecart. What upset you now?
Oh, it's that smart Alec orchestra Phil had to ring in on me. I wish you'd just ignore him, Mary. You haven't been out with any of the boys in this band, have you?
Only the brass section.
Oh.
I like fellas with derbies.
Oh, good. Well, stay away from the woodwinds. But by the way, Mary, I thought you were going to meet me the other night for dinner and go to a show afterwards.
Jack, I've told you 1,000 times I'm not going out with you until you buy an overcoat.
Oh, you're as bad as Don. I told you I don't need an overcoat. This blue suit keeps me plenty warm.
It ought to. You got your gray one under it.
Oh, was that darn thing showing again? Anyway, you missed a wonderful treat. I saw that new Olson and Johnson review.
Oh, if they got a show here, what's the name of it?
It's called Hex-a-Poppin'.
Hex-a-poppin'?
Yeah.
Not the night I saw it.
Go away, Phil. Just say, Mary, you missed a grand evening's entertainment.
Well, to tell you the truth, Jack, I went over to visit my folks in Plainfield that night. They're having trouble with the landlord again.
Hey, that's been going on for years. Mary, your father's working. Why doesn't he pay the rent?
Oh, he says everything belongs to the Indians anyway.
Well, the least he could do is give the landlord a string of beads. The only thing I can't understand, Mary, is how your family keep from being thrown out.
Thrown out? My folks move so often, Mama wears a gypsy costume.
Oh. Well, I guess some people are just naturally restless.
Yeah, we even had to change our dog's name from Fido to Rover.
Nice family.
Say, Jack.
What?
I just got a letter from Mama that'll positively kill you.
Well, it's about time. What's the Noel Coward of Plainfield got to say?
Here it is. Oh, this is a riot.
Well, never mind the build-up. Just read it.
Okay. My darling daughter, Mary, just a line to let you know how happy your visit made us, and to tell you that you left a pair of gloves here on the piano.
That was careless.
They fit me fine, but I will send them to you immediately, if that's the way you feel about it. Anyway, it's lucky you left when you did. I think your sister Lulu has the mumps, as she was blowing up a balloon yesterday, and when she stopped, her cheeks wouldn't go down.
Oh, that's too bad.
Right now, she looks like a tuba player getting ready for a high note.
Say, it's a good thing you got away from there.
By the way, Mary, your grandfather is at it again. He may be old, but he certainly follows the latest style.
I remember the old geezer.
This morning, when he came into breakfast, he was wearing his beard up.
He was. Say, with his beard up over his face, he must have trouble eating.
Mama's coming to that. We had chicken soup for lunch today, and you should have seen your grandfather looking for a noodle in the haystack.
The old gal's cooking tonight. Any other bulletins?
No other news, except your cousin Otto is in trouble with the police again.
Now what?
They caught him on a ladder the other night, and he wasn't eloping.
That's right. You can't take silverware to Niagara Falls.
That's all for now. Give my love to the gang, and hope to see you before you leave. Your devoted mother, Gypsy Rose Livingston.
Wow.
P.S. It's only 2 weeks to Christmas, so give my love to Jack, too.
Well, that's very sweet of her. What a racketeer. Now, let's get on with the program. Oh, Kenny. Hey, where's Kenny? He's supposed to sing right now.
I don't know.
Oh, I remember. Kenny borrowed $10 from me and said he was going out to see the World's Fair.
The World's Fair? That doesn't open until spring.
He'll wait.
Darn that kid. Well, if we can't have a song, I'll have to play a violin solo.
A violin solo?
Get back in your seats, men.
That's what I say. Hand me a violin, Phil.
Now, wait a minute, Jack. Can't we talk this over?
I know what I'm doing, Phil. Let go of me. Hey, boys, do you know At Long Last Love?
No.
How about My Reverie?
No.
Fine orchestra. Hey, piano player.
Yeah?
Do you know when it's tulip time in Holland?
I think it's in April, isn't it?
Oh, never mind. They'd probably ruin it for me anyway. Well, as long as we have to do without Kenny, play something, Phil. We got to get going here. Hold it a minute. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
I'm awfully sorry you're not going to play a violin solo tonight.
You are? Well, so am I.
But who are we, the people?
Get out of here. Be glad when the beaver season opens. I'd like to bag him.
I'm no millionaire, but I'm not the type to care, 'cause I've got old pocket full of dreams. It's my universe, even with an empty purse, 'cause I've got that pocket full of dreams. Wouldn't trade the wealth on Wall Street for a road where nature trots and to calculate I'm worth my weight in the golden rods. Lucky, lucky me, I can live in luxury, 'cause I've got that pocket full of dreams. I'm no millionaire, but I'm not the type to care, 'cause I've got that pocket full of dreams. It's my universe, even with an empty purse, 'cause I've got old pocket full of dreams. Wouldn't trade that wealth on Wall Street for a road where nature trots, and to calculate I'm worth my weight in the golden rod.
Yeah, man.
Lucky, lucky me, I'll go on in lovery, 'cause I've got old pocket full of dreams.
Pocket Full of Dreams, played by the orchestra with a vocal refrain by Phil Martinelli. And now I know why you didn't want me to play my violin, Phil. It was just so you could do a number yourself, you big ham.
Well, what if I did? Don't be so jealous.
I'm not jealous. If I couldn't sing better than that, I wouldn't even attempt it. Me jealous. Why should I be? I got more money in the bank than you have. Haven't I, Mary?
You've got more money in your sock than he has in the bank.
Mary, if you're referring to that bulge above my shoe, I was getting out of the bathtub this morning and I sprained my ankle.
Well, you've got Lincoln's picture on the bandage.
All right, Mary. Anyway, that's what happened.
Bathtub? What were you doing in the bathtub?
I was sailing a boat. What was I doing in the bathtub? What do you think I was doing? Diving for pearls? Or my laundry?
That could happen.
Now, wait a minute, Mary, I shouldn't even discuss it, but I don't do my own laundry.
Well, someone should.
All right, just keep it up, fellas. Just keep it up. So, when I do my Christmas shopping, I'll remember every word that was said here.
Now, hold on a minute, Jack. Have I ever said anything to hurt your feelings?
No, you haven't, Don.
Have I ever said anything that would cause you a moment's unhappiness?
No, Don, you haven't. Here it comes, folks.
Have I ever said anything except that Jell-O is economical, easy to make, and comes in 6 delicious flavors? Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime.
No, Don, and I admire you for it. To prove my faith in you, I'm going to let you handle the show from now on.
Where are you going, Jack?
Well, I've still got a lot of Christmas shopping to do, and I thought I'd finish it up today. You can handle things around here, can't you, Don?
Oh, sure, Jack. Go right ahead.
Can I go with you, Jack?
Yeah, because if I leave you here, you're liable to say something about me.
All right, I'll go with you and say it.
Hey there. Really? Come on, Don. I'll see you. We're going ahead. I'll see you later. Wait a minute. I'll take it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Oh, well, it's about time. We've been in town 10 days, and it's the first I've heard from you. Where are you?
I'm up here in Harlem enjoying a little Southern hospitality.
Oh, well, you know, Rochester, even though we're in New York, you still have work to do.
I thought this was a pleasure trip.
Pleasure trip? I've had to unpack my own bags, answer the phone, and do everything myself. You expect to get paid this week, don't you?
Definitely.
I thought so. What have you been doing?
Well, last Wednesday night, some friends of mine threw a big banquet in my honor.
Oh, did you have a good time?
I don't know. It ain't over yet.
It ain't over yet. Well, for heaven's sake, how long is this party going to last?
Until somebody with a blue coat knocks on the door with an axe.
Well, I don't mind you having a good time, Rochester, but in case things get dull there, I wish you'd drop around and press some pants for me.
Okay, boss, I'll be there tomorrow.
Fine. Oh, incidentally, when I unpacked my bags the other day, I couldn't find my full dress suit.
You couldn't? My.
I'm not asking for sympathy, Rochester. Where is my full dress suit?
You mean the one you look so good in?
Stop flattering me. Rochester, where is my full dress suit?
Why don't you wear your tuxedo?
Now, Rochester, for the last time, where is my full dress suit?
Well, I'll be doggone. I got it on.
I thought so. Of all the brazen, unmitigated nerve, how dare you put on any of my wardrobe? How dare you?
Are you disappointed in me, boss?
Disappointed? Now, listen to me, Rochester.
Yes, sir?
I want you to be at my hotel at 8 o'clock sharp tomorrow morning.
Shall I come formal?
Yes, bring the suit. Goodbye.
So long, boss.
Well, that's positively the last word in nerve. Play, Phil. I got to go out and do some shopping. Come on Gee, this store is crowded, isn't it, Mary?
Yeah, getting through this mob is like playing Notre Dame.
Yeah, everybody's shoving and pushing. Ooh, ooh! Madam, will you please watch your umbrella? You better stick close to me, Mary, and don't get lost. And take your hand out of my pocket.
Not my hand.
Then whose is it? Well, for goodness... Hey, buddy, what are you doing with your hand in my pocket?
I don't know. I guess I'm an optimist.
Let's get away from here, Mary. Now, let's see. Here's my Christmas list. An electric razor for Don, a necktie for Kenny, a chorus girl for Phil, and
What are you going to get for me, Jack?
I'm not going to tell you, Mary. It's a surprise. It's something between a Rolls Royce and a compact.
I'll bet the last will be first.
Oh, I don't know about that. Remember last Christmas I gave you that lovely bottle of perfume?
Fine perfume. I put some on my handkerchief and had to bury it.
No, it wasn't that bad. Incidentally, I have to buy some. I wish you'd help me pick it out.
Okay, here's the counter, Jack.
Oh, yes. Pardon me, miss. I'd like to get a bottle of perfume.
Yes, sir. Now, here's something new this season that's very popular.
Well, what an attractive bottle, isn't it, Mary?
Yeah.
What's the name of that, miss?
It's called Springtime in the Bronx.
Oh, yes, it's lovely that time of year with the bagels all in bloom. But, miss, look, I'd like something a little more exotic. Something, shall we say, ooh-la-la?
Oui, oui.
Well.
Now, here's a perfume that's all the rage in Paris. It's called Toujours l'amour voulez-vous.
Well, toujours l'amour voulez-vous. What does that mean, Mary?
Love, your magic smell is everywhere.
Well, it sounds much better in French. How much is that, miss?
$10 an ounce or $4,000 a gallon.
Well, I'm afraid that's a little steep. Let's see. What else have you got?
Now, here's something very nice. It sells for $3.50 a bottle.
Say, that's quite a bargain. Who makes that?
Haig and Haig.
Oh, I'm afraid that won't do either. Oh, gosh, I don't know. Gee, miss, I don't know what kind of perfume to buy.
Why don't you just run some violets through a wringer and make it yourself?
Well, of all the impertinence. Come on, Mary, I've got a good mind to report her.
Well, it's not her fault, Jack. She's busy.
Busy?
Yes, when you spend that much time with a girl, you either have to buy something or marry her.
Oh. Well, come on, I got to get some neckties for Kenny. And stick close to me, Mary. You'll get lost in this crowd.
Hey, Jack, there's that fellow again.
Where? Ouch! Buddy, will you please keep your hand out of my pocket?
I'm sorry.
Sorry? You're the clumsiest pickpocket I've ever met.
Well, I'm young yet.
And stay away from me until you loin something. Now, let's see. Where's the necktie counter?
There's a floor walker, Jack. Ask him.
Oh, yes. Pardon me, mister.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you, sir?
I'm looking for ties. Where can I get a good dollar necktie?
I'm afraid you better ask somebody else.
Why?
I work here. I'm prejudiced.
Nevertheless, I'd like to find the necktie department. Where is it?
Neckties. Now, let's see. That wouldn't come under crockery, would it?
No, it comes under chin, if I remember. Now, look, mister, I haven't got all day. Where can I buy a tie?
Well, you don't have to get huffy about it.
I'm not huffy. You big dope.
Oh, go back to Hollywood and squeeze an orange.
Now, look here, you.
Hey, Jack, there's the necktie department right in back of you.
Oh, that's right. Fine floor walker is a disgrace to his carnation. Fine floor walker is a disgrace to his carnation. Oh, here we are. Well, there's quite a selection here.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I'd like to buy some ties.
Four-in-hand, bow, or railroad?
Look, I want a necktie, a regular necktie.
I'm glad to hear that. The one you're wearing is awful.
Well, it is a little wrinkled.
Now, here's a very snappy tie, mister, with an American flag on it.
Oh, yes.
Take it, Jack. It'll go good with your white shirt with the stars on it.
Yeah, that's right. It is unusual. How much is this tie with the flag on it?
$62.50.
$62.50?
Yes, Betsy Ross made it.
For heaven's sake, what is this, a store or a museum?
I don't know. I always come in the back door.
Well, that settles it. I'm getting out of this joint.
Wait a minute, Jack. As long as you're here, why don't you buy an overcoat?
I told you before, I don't need one.
You do, too.
I do not, and take your hand out of my pocket. And come in quicker.
Good heavens, you're getting monotonous.
All right. Come on, Mary. I'll buy that overcoat just so you'll keep still. Where's that silly floor walker again?
There he is, right over there.
Oh, yeah. Say, mister, I hate to go through this again, but can you tell me where the overcoat department is?
I'm not speaking to you.
Well, I'm not going to make up with you either. Come on, Mary. I'll find the overcoats myself.
You better carry some of these bundles, honey.
I'm loaded now.
Rochester.
Oh, hello, Mr. Billy. You shopping, too?
Yeah, I thought you were up at Harlem at a banquet.
I was, but I ran into some money with a pair of dice, so my girlfriend brought me down here to liquidate.
Oh, I see.
Boss, I'd like you to meet Miss Lucille. What is your last name, honey?
Garbo.
Oh, Lucille Garbo. How do you do?
Glad to know you, Mr. Benny. Rochester's been telling me about that big oil well you two own.
Oil well? What oil well?
Come on, honey, let's go.
Rochester!
See you later, boss.
Oil well? Wait till I see him tomorrow.
Oh, Jack, I found the overcoat department. I've got one all picked out for you.
Look, I'll pick out my own. Where is it?
Come on, I'll show you.
Now, Mary, while I'm buying my coat, you can run along. You don't have to stay.
I wouldn't miss this for $1 million.
All right, but I don't want any remarks.
Here's the salesman. Isn't he cute?
Oh, so that's it, huh?
How do you do, sir?
How do you do? I'm Jack Benny, and I'd like to buy an overcoat.
I see. Oh, Joe.
Yeah?
Come over here. I'm going to need help on this.
Okay, Mr. Peters.
Now, what have you got in mind, Mr. Benny?
Well, I'd like to get...
Now, here's a very popular model. All wool, double-breasted, and wears like iron.
Well, it's nice, yeah, but I'd
Just
rather...
try it on. I'm sure you'll like it.
Look, I don't care for the color.
Try it on anyway. Hold him, Joe.
I got him.
Now, wait a minute.
There you are, Mr. Benny, a perfect fit.
A perfect fit?
Absolutely. Now, do you want the sleeves lengthened, or are you going to wear gloves?
Now, look, mister, I don't like this coat at all. In the first place, it's too long. Look, when I move, it drags on the floor.
Not if you walk on your toes.
Well, that's about the silliest thing I've ever heard.
It looks marvelous on you.
Marvelous? I've been in shower curtains that fit better than this. Now, look here. I don't like this model at all. Take it off.
All right.
I don't like the weight, and I don't like the color.
But it's only $29.50.
Put it back on, fellas.
Now, wait a minute, Mary. I don't want this coat at any price.
Oh, you don't, huh? Well, try it on again. This coat will grow on you.
Grow? I could raise pigeons in it now. Now, look, Mr. Brown, I don't
now,
want...
Now, just slip it on again.
Look, but I don't like
I
this...
got him, Mr. Peters.
Hey, what's the matter with you guys anyway?
There you are. Now, how do you like it?
I don't like it. Look at this coat. There aren't even buttons on it.
Of course not. This is the new zipper model. Look. There you are.
Mary, let's get out of here. These fellas are maniacs. What are you laughing at?
You look like a guy peeking out of a sack of potatoes.
Well, I've just had about enough of this. I'm going home. Unzipper me.
Okay, here we go again.
Come on, Mary, let's go.
All right, Jack.
Oh, no, you don't. Grab him, Joe.
I got him. Out of my way, you. Out of my way.
All right, Joe, let him have it.
Ha-ha, you missed me. What a sore loser.
Oh, Jack, he shot me right through my new hat.
Well, no wonder. It looks like a wild duck. Good heavens, what a night.
You ever get the feeling that you simply can't think of anything different to have for a dessert? Well, cheer up. There's always something new, and here's one good suggestion for tomorrow. It's the delicious new Jell-O butterscotch pudding prepared with 10 creamy marshmallows cut in quarters and folded inside. Good? Ah, you bet it's good. Satin smooth, rich, and mellow with a golden brown color, as tempting as taffy, and it tastes that's luscious with true butterscotch flavor. Then try the new Jell-O vanilla pudding. It's creamy and delicate, fresh tasting and smooth, for it's made with real vanilla. You'll find that it's an all-family favorite, and it's wholesome and nourishing. Then there's Jell-O chocolate pudding, just like old-fashioned homemade pudding, rich and chocolatey, made a quicker, easier, better way. For all three Jell-O puddings are delightfully simple to prepare. The quick, easy directions are in every package, together with some interesting recipe variations. Buy 3 packages at a time. Ask your grocer tomorrow for Jell-O butterscotch, vanilla, and chocolate pudding.
This is the last number of the 12th program in the new Jell-O series. And we'll be with you again next Sunday at the same time, broadcasting from Hollywood, California. And, folks, I want you all to know that I was only kidding before. I really have an overcoat, haven't I, Mary?
Yes, but the elbows are out.
Of course, that's why I didn't wear it. Good night, folks.
J-E-L-L. Tonight's music included F.D.R. Jones from Sing Out the News. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI.
J-E-L-L-O.
The Jell-O program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Kenny Baker, and Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Your Eyes Are Bigger Than Your Heart. This is the time of year when we're checking over Christmas lists, and every store window is a new temptation. Pocketbooks get lighter and lighter, and we're all of us watching the budget. Well, here's one good way to help your budget, and that's to serve plenty of Jell-O, for it's so inexpensive. Jell-O costs only a few cents a package, and one package serves the average family generously with a really delicious treat. And everybody loves Jell-O. It's America's favorite gelatin dessert. Those 6 delicious flavors are filled with extra rich fruit goodness, and those 6 gay colors fit right in with this cheerful holiday season. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. All 6 are bright with festive cheer, as jolly as Christmas Eve. So for inexpensive, economical desserts, look for those big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O, and Jell-O spells a treat. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Benny and his gang, who are en route from New York to Hollywood, have reached Chicago. So we picked them up at the station where they are about to board the train going west. Take it away!
Hey, Rochester, did you see the rest of the gang?
No, boss, I guess we're the first ones here.
Doggone it. You know what, Rochester? I forgot to tip the taxi driver. Why didn't you remind me?
I thought it was premeditated.
Well, it wasn't.
All aboard! Train leaving on track 5 for Memphis, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Palm Beach, Miami, and Montreal. Board?
Montreal. Listen, mister, Montreal is in Canada. It's nowhere near Miami.
All right, so I made one little mistake.
Fine train announcer.
Hey, Ma, get a load of this. Junior, stop staring at that man in the blue and yellow overcoat.
For heaven's sake, yes. Have you ever seen an overcoat like this before?
No, and neither of you. Junior, I'm sorry, mister. You'll have to excuse him for being so precocious.
So what?
That means fresh, you dope.
I know what it means, and stay away from me. Hey, Rochester.
Yes, sir?
Our train leaves in 10 minutes. Where's my brown leather bag?
I thought you was carrying it.
Me? You probably left it on the street when we got out of the taxi. Somebody must have stolen it by now.
That old thing?
Yes, all my belongings are in it. Now go get it.
Okay, boss. I'll be back in a flash with the trash.
Of all the careless, good for no... Oh, hello, Don.
Hello, Jack. Where's the rest of the gang?
They're around here somewhere. Say, it's pretty cold here in Chicago, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is. Well, I see you finally got an overcoat.
Yeah.
That one's kind of loud for you, isn't it, Jack?
Yes, it is. It's warm, though.
All aboard! Train leaving on track 7 for Peoria, Emporia, Oskaloosa, Tuscaloosa, Toscanini, Vini, and From Elbow. Board!
From Elbow? That guy's nuts. Gee whiz, Don, it's getting late. I wonder what's keeping the rest of the gang.
Oh, don't worry, Jack. They'll show up.
Oh.
Mr. Benny, I looked all around the station. I can't find your bag anywhere.
Well, of course it's not in the station. You left it out on the sidewalk. Now go and get it.
Okay. Say, boss, it's kind of chilly outside. Can I have my overcoat?
Get out of here! His coat. You know, Don, someday Rochester's going to carry that kidding too far.
Hello, Bo Peep. Here's one of your sheep.
Well, it's about time, Mary. I haven't seen you since we got off the Century. Where have you been?
Oh, I had lunch with a fellow I met on the train last night.
Mary, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What's the idea?
Well, he was lonesome, and I was lonesome and hungry.
That's no excuse. I told you 1,000 times it's not right to go to lunch with strangers.
You said it. I paid the check.
Well, that'll teach you a lesson. Now, come on with me. I want to go over to the newsstand and get some magazines.
Hey, boss, I found your bag. Here it is.
That's good. Hey, but what'd you bring all those red caps along with you for?
I didn't bring them. They're picketing me.
Oh. Well, wait for me by the ticket gate. Come on, Mary.
Say, Jack, I wish you'd take off Rochester's coat. Everybody's staring at you.
Mary, this isn't Rochester's coat.
Oh, no? Look at that lodge button on the lapel.
Lodge button?
Yeah, since when do you belong to the sons and daughters of the Deep South?
I don't belong. I'm just an honorary member. Here's the newsstand. We've only got about 5 minutes.
All aboard! Train leaving on track 11 for White Sulphur Springs, Warm Springs, Palm Springs, Hot Springs, and Simmons Mattresses.
Simmons Mattresses? Where's that?
Right near Boulder Dream.
Well, I deserve that. Here's the newsstand, Mary. What do you want?
Let me see. There's Photoplay and the Saturday Evening Post.
Yeah, and there's Collier's.
Yes, sir. Is there anything I can do for you?
I beg your pardon?
I said, is there anything I can do for you?
Yes, we'd like to buy some magazine. What have you got there?
Well, we have the latest Cosmopolitan.
Cosmopolitan? Huh?
Yes, and here's the new Liberty.
What do you want, Mary?
Oh, I'll just take a box of peppermints.
Mary, don't encourage him.
Perhaps you'd like a good novel to read on the train.
A novel? Oh, I don't know. Say, Mary, what's that book over there by you?
Where?
The one that's nailed up on the wall.
You can't take it with you.
Well, there's no use buying it then. Come on, Mary, we'll get something on the train.
All right. Oh, Jack, look at those cute little toy dogs there. Let's get one.
Toy dog? Not now, Mary.
Well, take one on the train with you, mister. They're only $1.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, go ahead. They're very cute.
Oh, I don't care if they are. What good is a toy dog on a train?
Well, for one thing, you don't have to take them on and off.
That's a lot of sales talk. Come on, Mary, we've only got 2 minutes.
Well, Jack, I found Phil.
Hiya, baby. You looking for me?
Yes, Phil, we're leaving in a couple of minutes. You had me worried to death. Where were you?
I just stopped in for a shave and a haircut. And you know, Jack, it's the first time I ever had a lady barber.
Oh, yeah? Say, I'll bet you had a lot of fun.
What, with a razor in her hand?
I see. Well, she certainly gave you a fine haircut. Get a load of it, Mary.
It looks like she cut off too much and pasted it back.
It does at that. Hey, where's Kenny? He's always the last one to show up.
All aboard! Train leaving on track 1 for Toledo, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, East Orange, West Lemon, and Lime.
I'll bet Don put him up to that, huh?
Well, boss, I got all the bags on the train. Is there anything else you want me to do?
Yeah, look around the station, see if you can find Kenny Baker.
I saw him wandering around here a little while ago, and I thought he might get lost.
Well?
So I checked him in the parcel room.
Well, for heaven's sake, go and get him. Here's a dime.
Oh, it'll cost $25. I insured him.
All right, here. Now, hurry up.
California train is now ready. All passengers, hold your tickets, please.
Oh, boy, I can hardly wait to get back. Come on, Kenny, in here, will you?
Now, let's see. What did I do with mine? Oh, here they are.
Junior, come along. And I told you to stop staring at that man's overcoat.
Well, I may never see one again.
I'm sorry, mister, but Junior's a little bit upset.
Yeah, I'm worried about the market.
The market, eh? What stock did you buy, Junior?
Amalgamated rompers.
Now, watch out or I'll pull yours down and give you a good whack.
Come along, Junior. He's just an old grouchy wouchy.
Listen, madam, before I met your son, I was the picture of health.
Hey, boss, here's Mr. Baker.
Hello, Jack. Say, if I got time to run out and get a sandwich?
No, Kenny, you can eat on the train.
I don't like your sandwiches.
Kenny, I'm talking about the diner. Now, we're getting on the train now, so remember what I told you this morning.
Oh, don't worry, Jack. I won't forget.
Tickets, please. Tickets. Is everybody here?
Yeah, we're all here, Jack. Get in there, fella.
Here are the tickets, conductor.
Thank you. Now, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. 5 full tickets and 1 half fare.
That's correct. Right through the gate, everybody. Come along, Kenny, dear.
Yes, Uncle Jack.
Now, stay close, Kenny, but it wouldn't hurt you to try and look a little younger.
Say, Jack, as long as you're going through with this, why don't you give Kenny a teething ring?
A teething ring?
Yeah, he doesn't look like a kid at all.
Oh, no, you ought to see the underwear he pinned on me.
Never mind, Dad. Get on the train.
All aboard! Train leaving west on track 9 for Kansas City, Dodge City, Las Vegas, Albuquerque.
Albuquerque?
And shut up!
Well, thank heaven, at least we're getting rid of you.
Oh, no, you're not. I'm the engineer.
Oh, my goodness, what a ride we're gonna have.
Board!
Gee, this ride back home seems kind of long, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'll sure be glad when we get off.
Boy, what a trip.
Oh, I don't know what you fellas are complaining about. Every time the conductor comes by, I have to stick a lollipop in my mouth.
That's too bad.
Yeah, and another thing, I can blow my own nose.
Stop beeping, Kenny. I thought I told you to go and play with that little boy, Junior. It looks better. And besides, he's good company for you.
Fine company. This morning he told me a story about a traveling salesman.
All right, then stay here and be quiet. Say, this train is moving right along. Huh?
Oh, by the way, Jack, I meant to ask you, whatever happened to that play you were going to do in New York?
What play?
Oh, you know, that Shakespearean thing that you told us about before we left Hollywood.
Oh, that? Well, I'll tell you, Don, I spoke to the producer about it last week, and we decided to do it in the spring. It looks like I'm going to play Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar, that's a hot one.
Well, you can laugh, fellas. But I'm going in for a little more of that highbrow stuff.
Say, Jack, I'd like to be in that play, too. Can you get me a job carrying a spear?
Yes, Bill, but you'll have to walk in front of me. You do be fine doing Shakespeare with that corny dialogue of yours. Huh?
Quick, Jack, give me a lollipop. Here comes the conductor.
Oh, yes, here you are, Kenny. Oh, hello, conductor. How are you, Mr. Benny? Are you having a nice trip? Oh, fine, yes, sir.
Say, this nephew of yours, are you positive he's only 12 years old?
Why, yes, conductor. He's a pretty big boy for his age, but they grow like weeds in California.
Weeds yet.
Now, sit up, Kenny, like a good little boy.
Well, well. Tell me, young man, are you really only 12 years old?
Da, whatever that means.
All right, don't overdo it. Cute kid, isn't he, conductor? Huh?
Yes, but he could stand a shave.
Hey, fellas, we're slowing down a little. I guess we're coming into a town.
Yeah, there's a few houses.
Wow, look at that beautiful girl standing at that crossing up ahead.
Where?
Oh, say, she is good looking.
I guess the engineer saw her, too. Say, where's Mary?
Saw her just a few minutes ago talking to some fella back in the observation car.
I've told her time and again not to talk to strangers. I'm going in there and put a stop to that.
Well, Phil, I'm kind of tired. I think I'll spread out on this seat and take a nap.
See you later, Don. What are you going to do, Kenny?
Oh, I'm going back in the club car and have a scotch and soda.
Okay, I'll put a nipple on it so it'll look all right. Let's go, kid.
Mary is annoying this time?
Oh, I'll be glad to get home. Is this your first trip to California, Mr. I didn't get your name.
Thompson. Thompson.
Oh, yes. Is this your first trip to California, Mr. Thompson?
No, I've been there lots of times.
Well, you'll just love it. I always say there's no place like California. You know, I was born in Plainfield, New Jersey, but after all, New Jersey is New Jersey, and California's California.
So what?
Oh, you're a card. You're such a distinguished-looking man, Mr. Thompson. What business are you in?
I'm a psychiatrist.
Oh, I'm glad I bumped into you. I've been having more trouble with my feet.
Mary.
Young lady, a psychiatrist is a...
Oh, I'm in the radio business. You know, the Jell-O program starring Mary Livingston and Stooges. Oh, we're a riot. I'm famished, Mr. Thompson. Are you hungry?
No, I'm not.
Mary.
Well, if you'd eat something, Mr. Thompson, you wouldn't have a headache.
I haven't got a headache.
Mary!
Oh, hello, Jack.
Come here a minute. I want to talk to you.
Excuse me a minute.
Gladly.
All right, Mary, come on with me. Who's that fellow you were talking to?
Oh, some fresh guy trying to date me up.
Well, it's your own fault. Now, let's get back in our own car. Now, Mary, you got more nerve. Here comes that little brat, Junior. Let's ignore him.
Hiya, Dracula.
Mary, there's nothing funny about that. Let me tell you something, young man. If you're not careful, you'll grow up to be worse than the dead-end kids.
Those sissies.
Wish he'd stick his tongue out at me once more so I can hit him on top of the head.
I think he's a cute little boy.
Cute. Last night he put a poached egg in my berth.
Oh, Jack, look at Don over there, sound asleep. Doesn't he look sweet?
Yeah, he looks like a whale that was washed up on the beach. Look at that smile on his face. Huh?
Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. None genuine without the big red letters on the box.
Say, that guy even dreams about Jell-O.
You better wake him up, Jack. We'll be in pretty soon.
Yeah. Where's Rochester? My bags aren't even packed. Oh, Phil, did you see Rochester anywhere?
Yeah, come here a minute. Jack, you want to hear something funny?
What?
Rochester's in that drawing room talking to the porter. Boy, is he giving him a line.
He is, eh? Let's listen.
You know, Sylvester, I used to be a porter myself, but I gave it up. There ain't no future in it.
You're right, Rochester. Say, how long you been Mr. Bennett's private secretary and personal advisor?
For about 2 years now. You know, Mr. Bennett don't make a move without consulting me. He calls me his Anthony Eden.
That's just a big fib.
Quiet, Jack. This is good.
Say, Rochester, what kind of a man is your boss? Is he nice to work for?
Oh, very pleasant, very pleasant. You ought to see how he throws his money away.
He does?
Not far, but he throws it.
Wait till I get a hold of him.
One thing, Mr. Benny, he sure has funny radio programs.
Well, he ought to. I'll write every word of them.
That's all I want to know. Listen, author.
See you later, Sylvester.
When you get through writing my programs, Anthony, I wish you'd pack my bag. We're getting off the train pretty soon.
Okay, boss.
Say, Kenny.
Yes, Jack?
As soon as we get to the station, we'll have to go right to the studio. Have you got your song ready for the program?
Yeah, but I better run through it again.
That's right. We won't have time for rehearsal. Go ahead, Kenny. Put down those blocks and sing. My personal
I'm in heaven when I see you smile, smile for me, my Diane. And though everything's dark all the while, I can see you, Diane. There's a story I know that I'll tell to you. It was June and we met, the same as most lovers do. Then I was called away and I wrote you Lady Diane. And though everything's dark all the while, I can see you, Diane. You have lighted the road leading home. Pray for me when you can. But no matter wherever I roam, stand for me, my
Well, fellas, we're pulling into the station pretty soon.
Hey, Don, did you see the tops of my pajamas anyplace?
No, I didn't, Phil.
Me neither.
Darn no souvenir hunters.
Rochester, you sure you got everything in the bags?
Yes, sir, and am I tired? When I get home, I'm going to bed and won't get up till 1939.
Well, you need a little rest the way you've been dissipating on this trip. Look at those white circles under your eyes. Now, let's see, where did I put my reading glasses?
Your glasses? I'll find them.
And look, Rochester, you forgot to pack my blanket.
Is that the one Fred Allen said you took from the Sherry Netherlands Hotel?
Mary, I didn't take any blanket from the Sherry Netherlands.
Then what's that SN on there?
That's where I bought it, Saks 9th Avenue. So there.
Wait a minute, Saks hasn't got a store on 9th Avenue.
I'll bet you $25 there's a fella named Sam Saks who runs a store on 9th Avenue. And he sells blankets. Anyway, Alan's got a nerve saying I ever took anything out of a hotel.
Well, what about that little incident at the Ritz last year?
Never mind that.
What was it, Mary?
Oh.
Well, Jack walked out of the Ritz with a chair and a floor lamp and told the house detective he was from the finance company.
Well, I just did that for a laugh.
Well, those laughs look very good in your living room.
You're making that up, Mary, and you know it. Hey, we're coming in, fellas. We're coming in.
Los Angeles, keep track of your baggage. Don't forget what belongs to you, and please don't forget what belongs to us.
Well, here we are. What a crowd at the station. Huh?
Doggone, look at all those gals from Central Avenue.
Don't tell me they came down to meet you, Rochester.
I don't know, but I'm getting off ahead of the porters.
Oh, that reminds me. Hey, Porter.
Yes, sir.
Everything was fine. Here's a tip for you.
Thank you, Mr. Benny. Wow, a $10 bill.
A $10 bill?
Here's your glasses, boy.
Too late now.
Yes. Oh, well. Well, I guess he earned it. Come on, fellas. So long, conductor. We had a swell trip.
So long, Mr. Benny. Goodbye, young man.
Goodbye, conductor. We sure fooled you, didn't we?
Kenny. Well, so long, fellas. See you all at the broadcast.
So long, Jack.
Hey, Don, come on.
Come on, Rochester. Let's go.
Hey, Mr. Bennett, look who's here to greet us.
Why, Andy!
Hiya, Buck. Welcome home.
Well, doggone it, Andy, I had a hunch the mayor of Van Nuys would come down to the station to greet us.
Yeah, and I even tried to get our local jug band down here.
Well, why didn't you?
Well, by the time they got their jugs empty, they weren't in the mood.
Oh, well, tell me, Andy, how's everything in California?
Oh, just fine, Buck.
I hear you had a couple of days of pretty heavy rain. Is that true?
I ain't no squealer.
Now, come on, Andy, come on. You can trust me. It did rain here, didn't it?
Wait a minute. Are you sure there ain't no microphones around?
Of course not.
Buck, it came down in buckets.
It did?
And old man Moses drowned.
I know, Andy, I know. I read all about it.
Oh, Junior, there he is now. Hello, Uncle Andy.
Hello, Junior. Hiya, sis.
Hey, what is this?
Hey, Buck, this is my sister Flossie from Indianapolis, and this is my nephew, Junior.
Yeah, I met the little rattlesnake. Well, I gotta run along, Andy. I'm anxious to get home. Goodbye, Junior.
See you around, Snow White.
You won't see me around if I have to put on a false beard. So long, Andy.
Hey, wait a minute, Buck. Hey, Flossie, you and Junior wait for me in the buggy. I want to talk to Buck a minute.
All right. Come on, Junior.
Andy, I can't tell you how good it feels to be back home. Say, how's your folks?
Oh, they're all excited, getting ready for Christmas.
They are, huh?
Yeah, they were trimming the Christmas tree last night, and Pa fell off the ladder and hung a star on Ma's ear.
Yeah?
Yeah, then Ma hung one on him.
Oh, they're still at it, eh?
Buck, they've been fighting so much lately, we're trying to get Clem McCarthy for a hired man.
Well, I don't blame her. Well, see you later, Andy. I gotta run along now.
So long, Buck.
So long. Oh, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
Quit signing autographs and get me a taxi cab.
Okay, see you tonight, Josephine.
All aboard. Train leaving for Salt Lake City, Denver, Chicago, Cleveland, New Jersey, and Mars. Board!
If you're looking for an easy-to-make dessert that's one of the best you ever tasted, we have the answer. It's any one of 3 new Jell-O puddings. Jell-O vanilla pudding, delicate and creamy, made with real vanilla. Jell-O butterscotch pudding, rich with old-fashioned butterscotch flavor. And Jell-O chocolate pudding, smooth and chocolatey. All 3 Jell-O puddings are simply grand. Listen to what Mrs. Howard Gessler of North Trip Avenue, Chicago, writes us about them. I do feel I want to tell the makers of Jell-O puddings how much my family and I enjoy their products. I've used practically every ready-made pudding, but to me, Jell-O puddings surpass them all. Thank you for putting on the market desserts which are so easy to make and so inexpensive and delicious that anyone can afford and enjoy them. Well, thank you, Mrs. Gessler, for that mighty fine letter. We appreciate it. And to the rest of you, we'd like to say, if you want to enjoy the grandest pudding dessert you ever tasted, ask your grocer tomorrow for Jell-O vanilla, butterscotch, and chocolate pudding.
The last number of the 12th program in the new Jell-O series, and we'll be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. So Merry Christmas, everybody, from my whole gang.
What are you going to give me for a Christmas present, Jack?
Mary, I'm going to give you 2 tickets to my new Paramount picture, Artists and Models Abroad, which opens in key cities all over the country next week. Good night, folks. Gee, I'm glad I got that in.
J-E-L-L-O.
Penny Baker appears on the Jell-O program through courtesy of Mervyn LeRoy Productions.
The song, I Go For That, is from the picture St. Louis Blues. This is the National Broadcasting Company.